Good evening, everyone. This is the Warble. Don't know what we're going to talk about tonight, but we're going to talk about Collingwood. So, everyone in the chat, tell us what you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it. I'll bring a couple of people on stage. Firstly, welcome on stage, Age.
G'day, Matty. I'm good, mate. I'm getting better every day, mate. I'm not the finished product. I'm not the finished product. I'm working on it every day. I'm getting better every day, mate.
Yep. And the main thing is you're a winner.
You don't know if I've won or lost, mate. You wouldn't know.
Yeah. He doesn't say that one anymore.
Well, we're losing every week, so no winning. It's just losing.
Now I'm gonna bring Manny on stage. Let's see how your sound is tonight, Manny. Welcome, Manny.
Matty, how are you, buddy?
Good. You're very silent. It's very quiet, mate.
I'll put the volume up. Hold on. Better?
Go.
Yeah, I've got earphones in. No echo?
Very,
echo, buddy?
very, very soft.
Very soft. Hold on a sec.
There's no echo though. That's a positive.
What about now? Better?
No.
No, it's still low?
Age, how's Manny sounding to you?
Yeah, he sounds all right. Just
the sound is good, just a bit quiet.
Yeah,
mate.
So just get into ranting mode, Manny, and that'll bring your volume up to be just right.
I can't. My daughter's sleeping, bro. My daughter's sleeping.
Ah, mate. Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right, that's all right. I can hear it. It's
we can deal with it, I think.
Yeah, but no echo.
No, there's no echo. That's
headphones. The headphones.
Good.
Making progress, buddy.
Right,
making progress, mate. Not the finished product yet, mate. Not the finished product.
No. We've got work to do. So who else we got here? Let's bring up Sean, Ultimate Greatness. How you doing, mate?
Hey, fellas. How's things?
Shawnee.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good, mate.
Yeah. Also, just real quick, there was some settings I was able to adjust for with Manny with his audio. So if he's improved, that'll be on my end.
Well done. The echoes.
Yeah. I found there's a produce background noise option. So I've done that, and then there's a automatic adjust volume.
Oh, through StreamYard.
Yeah. So hopefully that can help.
Yeah, that can help. Sometimes I've tried it before with Manny, and it works, but it just went all distorted, and so I wasn't. But maybe you are better at it than me. You're younger than me. You're techier than me.
Yeah. Anyway, I've ticked it, so yeah. Hopefully everything will be good. But yeah.
Okay. Thanks, mate.
But yeah, we've got some things to talk about.
Okay, I'm going to bring on Chris as well. Evening, Chrissy. You there, Chris, or are you over on Swoops? I'll bring you back later, mate. Okay, so what's happening? I haven't been paying much attention to Collingwood content the last few days, and I'd like to talk about all of it, but apart from bloke by the initials of BH, I don't reckon it's worth talking about.
Fuck him.
Yeah, nothing to be excited about. It's not good news. It's bad news, actually.
Fuck him, mate.
Yeah, must be payday. So who we got here? We have got Voidoid. G'day, Voidoid. We have got Chrissy. We'll try you again soon, mate. Stephanos. G'day, buddy. Mello. How are you, mate? Joshy. Okay. Voidoid. Thoughts of Adam Simpson's view about Collingwood from his Waitley SEN segment? Maybe you can play audio to avoid copyright. I bet you it was all negative, and I bet you it was about the list and how we're too old. Am I close, Void? I can't stand that bloke, Adam Simpson.
Yeah,
I just can't. Yeah, I just can't stand just the talking points around Collingwood. How people reckon this is our ceiling. Like it's. We can get into that if you want, but yeah, we are so shit at the moment. But in a weird way, that's kind of a positive because it just shows that we've got so much more to give. But it's so weird. Like it's like you play shit football, and it's like, oh well, at least we know that's the expectation. It's like, no, we're playing shit. If we're playing shit, that means we can play better, and if we're playing better,
exactly.
We can do more than what we currently are. Like,
yeah. We can
I
play
don't
scintillating.
understand that whole premise.
Oh no, it's just that they're comfortable with that premise. See that they're comfortable with that premise. That narrative gets clicks because everyone goes, "Oh, Collingwood, an aging list. They're going off a cliff. They've got no kids. There's no youth coming through." That fits perfectly. That they don't like to look at. Oh, maybe they're darling Craig McRae. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe there's other issues. Maybe recruitment. Maybe selection. Maybe development. They never talk about that. I mean, have a think about it. Ned Long playing in the forward line for 4 weeks straight. One of the worst coaching moves I've seen in watching over 40 years of football. Yeah. Just think about it. Kane Corns has not mentioned it once. If that was Bevo, imagine if Bevo played, I don't know, Libba or Adam Treloar or someone like that. Someone who's obviously not a forward for 2 weeks and it didn't go any good. Wouldn't he be giving Bevo shit?
Yeah. Also, as well, just to put it into perspective and how shit we are going, this kind of feels like one of the worst outside of what maybe 2021. This feels like it's been one of the worst seasons we've had in a while. But in saying that, we're sitting 11th. So as much as we can say that it's been a terrible season, blah, blah, but we're literally at the bottom in terms of what we can do, what we can achieve. So in a weird way, as I said before, in a weird way, it's kind of a positive because it's like, if this is us at the bottom and we're 11th, like, yeah, that just shows you. But that's the thing. Like 2017 was nearly 10 years ago. Next season, it'd be 10 years ago. And obviously that was under Buckley, and obviously we have Craig now. So that's like a whole new coach, new sort of era. But yeah, but basically that whole sort of like argument is just more, the fact that it's like, the fact that people can't see the fact that, and I think I've already said it multiple times, like the last couple of weeks. You put Chris Scott in the coaching chair at Collingwood, we win like the last 3 flags, and we probably even win this year too. Like the amount of self-sabotage that we have done to this football club is actually insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous, and if this is 2022, 2023, we win 3 of those close games and the draw we win, and the media would be, oh, Craig McRae, genius, Collingwood, the comeback kings, box office Collingwood would be second or third on 36 points, and there'd be no issues. So what happened in 2022, 2023, because we only really beat teams by a goal or two, if that. It pasted over a lot of cracks, I reckon.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
They could have fit that. Like, we never put teams away. We never smash teams, and we would just give the team what we needed to do. We just manage what the other team was supplying, and that's why we can go very close to beating Sydney one week. If Steen doesn't go down, we win that game, probably winning that by 3 or 4 goals.
Yep.
And we still kept fighting till then, lose by 6 points. And then the next week, we have dropped half of the kids so that all of Pendle's mates can play, and we nearly lose to West Coast in the space of a week.
Yeah.
So that you can see our best and our worst in the space of 7 days. So our first quarter against Sydney was our best, and then at the last half of the third quarter and the last quarter is our worst, when we just play that horrible defensive game versus that first quarter in Sydney where we were scintillating. And did you see? I covered it with Mick on this channel the other night, a bit of Flyers press conference, how he tied himself up in knots about why don't we play like this all the time?
Yep.
I do not want to hear that footage, because if I do, I will lose a gasket. The fact that he's not taking any accountability in that is actually pathetic.
He dobbed himself in.
Yeah.
He'll go, yeah, I don't want to be the type of guy who says, who holds them back. I mean, we've got modes, and sometimes you've got to not want to have a shootout, so you play defensive. And so he basically just says, I'm not stopping them from playing that way, and then says, I'm stopping them from playing that way.
Yeah.
Release the shackles was his words.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I love? I love that this Monday, nowhere to fucking hide this Monday. Massive crowd, standalone fucking game. He better put his best foot forward, this prick, because I tell you now, I know that you've said a lot of the media have sort of held off us and all that, and I'll tell you now, if Ned Long's playing forward in front of 95,000 people and the whole of Australia fucking watching, he doesn't get a sniff, watch Tuesday morning. I reckon that's when the blowtorch will come on. His grace is running out, I'm telling you now. His good guy flies fucking starting to wear thin on our supporters, our members, and I reckon even the wider football community. Slowly, they're going to realise, hang on, what's this stupid cunt fucking doing? It's such good timing to have a big standalone game, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. And selection, I get almost excited about selection, or as, what's the word?
Selection integrity.
Selection integrity, just the anticipation of selection. There's the same anticipation as waiting for the game, because you're just like, what's he going to do this week?
Yeah, you're just dreading it. There's no positivity around selection, because you literally go into every selection just being like, fuck, I just hope he doesn't screw this up, because you just know it's coming. And then the other thought is, he's going to screw it up, so it's like, just please just have the least amount of damage to our selection as possible. So it's like, if you're going to fuck up, please don't fuck up that much. Like the fact that we're already on the back foot on that, it's like wild. I will touch on as well too, when it comes to a certain player.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll play, but if there's ever a game to debut Swaddling, this is the game. There is no damn excuses. I'm trying to look at the Melbourne team from last week, because I'm pretty sure they're playing a lot of kids. And yeah, he probably won't debut, but yeah, God, if there was ever a time to, have no excuses to play him, this would be the game. But yeah, I'm sure Fly will find a way to, say that. Actually, I put the joke in Andreas' stream tonight. It's like, oh, he's probably not going to get a game because he's not a 201 centimeter key defender. Which, with the way Fly's going, that's probably right.
Yeah, not over 30. You have to be over 30 to play in this fucking league. This
have to be a 201 key defender, 201 centimeter key defender. Even though we're getting killed out of the middle.
Even if he was to debut Swaddling, let's be honest, he's going to play him on a half-forward flank. He's probably not going to get a sniff, and then you're going to have the casual Collingwood fan, the Saturday only Collingwood fan that's going to say, "Why did he play that young fella?
Oh, he's not ready.
Near it.
Yeah,
he's not ready yet. I think you should bring back Lipinski and put him there. I think Lipinski's a goer." That's 90% of our fan base. You got to remember that.
Yeah. Swaddling's not ready. They've never watched VFL.
Exactly, and that's the reality. So, if you're going to play him, I don't think you will. But if you're going to play him, you just got to play him around the middle. Of course, he's not going to play 100% of the game in the middle, but you give him a go where his best chance is to succeed. But Fly won't do that. If he plays him, he'll put him in the fucking, the place of least sort of consequence.
Backup,
I guess you could
backup
say.
ruck.
So I almost don't want him to play because I know how Fly will fucking use him. I almost want it to be like as a result of an injury or something where he's forced to play more to his true position. But yeah, look, I just want to see him fucking debut. I think I can't see it being this game. I reckon he'll go more experienced for this game. But then the following weeks where the draw opens up a little bit will provide opportunity to maybe take a few risks or throws at the stumps, as he likes to fucking say. Yeah. So, who knows? Like the Port Adelaide game's a good chance, some game like that. The Richmond game as well. So hopefully they're building towards that. But yeah, who bloody knows with this guy? There's no integrity, as we know.
Yep.
So, see this question from Voidoid? So why hasn't Scott won 3 flags with Geelong? I'll have a go at answering that first, and then you guys can give your opinion. I reckon because we're a better finals side, and our experienced players in finals just lift to another level, and we're a show in every final that we play in. Unless Fly gets in our way, of course, like he did in the prelim last year, playing 2 key forwards who weren't fit and playing Cameron in the ruck for the first 6 centre bounces in the start of the second half. And yeah, so that's why I think we've got better finals players.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Especially as well too. I feel like we also have guys that have played together long enough and have played a system to where we have shown to play that we have played better footy over a longer period of time. Yeah, it's just a thing of I just don't know why we just don't especially with like Fly when he has like coach and we've pointed it out multiple times where we will be playing the best football that we've played all season, and then we'll go into whatever mode it is, Presti mode. And then we just kill all the momentum. And the thing is that with football, and when it comes to momentum, you can't just turn it on like a water tap. You've got to keep putting the opposition back on their toes time and time again. And that you can't just do that within say maybe 30 seconds of football. Momentum's a really hard thing to stop. So the fact that we're voluntarily stopping our own momentum, it's ludicrous. Why are we stopping games from going to, instead of us being in front by say 2, 3, maybe 4 goals, and then we go into Presti mode when we can go to 40 plus. And then that's when we can maybe put Dacos on the pine and we can be like, hey, mate, just have this quarter off. So, let's just say third quarter, he has the whole quarter off. just saying this as a hypothetical, but then, all right, the opposition get, say, they kick a couple goals and it's about, say a 4-goal difference. But Dacos has been on the pine the whole time. Okay, cool, Dacos. You go on for that fourth quarter. And then he has that, the fourth quarter he had against, was it Carlton? Because we've actually rested him. We are actually looking after him. Because right now, we are, as ironic it is to say, we are Carlton and Carlton is now Collingwood.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
And I've called, and I feel like I called it weeks and weeks ago where I even said I'm starting to get this feeling like we are turning into Carlton, but it's become even worse than that. It's the fact that not only are we Carlton, but Carlton are now Collingwood.
Yeah.
In what fucking Marvel multiverse are we living in right now?
This is it. This is the thumbnail from last night. Can you see that on screen?
Yeah.
Classic.
Manny?
Yeah, buddy. We've got to buy after this game. We've got to buy. They better come out and give full-blown effort this week, because after this week, they're having a break. So this week's critical. Come out, give full-blown effort, and then go to the buy and reset. They better not go out there and fuck around. All of them. We want all of them to play good football. If I see Geordie and fucking Nick and Pendles stand out like dogs balls, like they do every week, and all the other players play like pussies, I won't be happy. They've got to go out there and get the job done. All of them. Lipper. The whole lot of them. All of them go out and play good football.
Yeah, we've got Daz went through a list last night.
Yeah, I heard
about how many players are just really, really below their standard at the moment. And I think it's maybe a mini protest starting to happen. Players like Bo. I mean, we thought Bo was going to go to a next level. Josh, DC obviously, McStay's hot and cold, Membry's hot and cold, Lipper, Sidey, Crispy, Moore obviously. Houston is just disappointing. Even Quaynor has been disappointing. So many established players who could easily be dropped. Actually, a lot of them. Just what Voidoid said here about Fly can be a bit scatterbrained in his presses. Yeah, he does, and he says stuff like this when he thinks, like it's a real revelation that he played Ed Allen in the guts and got him to tag Bontempelli. When we've been telling him that for 6 weeks.
How bad was that statement? Just quietly.
Like we've been telling him since preseason that Allen's not a winger, and if you don't play him in the middle, put him in the VFL, so he can get some confidence. No point playing on the wing. Did he just realize that on the weekend? No. People have been telling him, and he's been too fucking stubborn to do it.
He said something in that presser that I thought was really disrespectful. He was talking about like Anderson, and I'm pretty sure the other one was what's his fucking name? Ed.
Yep.
What's his bloody name? I've forgotten his last name. Yeah, Ed Allen. Yeah. So he was talking about Anderson and Ed Allen, and he said something along the lines of, they're role players, but they showed a little bit more than that, and they might be like needle movers for us, or he said something like that. I thought, is this guy? Did he? I can't believe he just said that. He pretty much just said, these guys are nothing more than role players. Like, they've done it right. Maybe they can give us a bit more. It's like, why are you saying that about your fucking young players? Say that about your old
up-and-coming players.
Exactly. Hi, Daz.
Oh, how you going, boys?
Good, mate.
How are you?
I was just going through your list that you gave last night of all the blokes underperforming.
Yeah, there was 10, wasn't there? So I forgot Nick in the good category, and one of the others in the good category. I do apologise, but yeah, I was more concentrating on the guys that have been below par. No, just going through it like up to round 12 this week. When you play 50% of the season, and those guys have been in constantly every week, bar maybe one or two managing decisions. And they're your experienced and they're your senior players, and they've dropped off all at the same time, or just not showing any effort or consistency. And we all talk about those close losses and that draw, but if those guys live 5 or 10 or 15% in those games, we win those games. We win those games. Those guys just need to lift. You know, we're not asking them to play out of their skin every single week, but if those guys just commit themselves another 10, 15% every week, we probably win those other games by 2, 3, 4 goals, you know? And everyone says, oh, yeah, but we're shooting for goal, we're missing and all of that. But it's a bit of everything, isn't it? I look at the players. I go to a lot of games. I watch them, and you just know they're just not putting in like they did 2, 3 years ago in their premiership year. Then these are premiership players, like 8 of them, 9 of them. And they're not doing the things they were doing back in 23.
There's no consequences. There's no consequences before.
And I should have mentioned Ned Long, but he's not an experienced player in that list. And it's just incredible. And guys, I'm telling you,
he's in that.
He won't get dropped this week. No. He'll stay in this week. I reckon there'll be one change. I could be proven wrong, but I reckon, I don't know what the latest is on Harry Perryman and Pez, but they're going to put him through a fitness test, and maybe because it's Monday afternoon game, that he might still be a chance to play in that one. But if he comes in, I'll tell you, he'll go out. It'll be Parker. Parker will be out, and Pez will be in, and there won't be any more changes. I'm going to put my neck on the chopping block right now, and I reckon there'll be one change, and that will probably be the only change, because I just have absolutely no idea what Fly discusses midweek or during the week when they talk about players in the previous week or the previous 2 or 3 games as to how they're faring on match day and games. And it's all about, like you say, this word role play. It's not an actual role play. I mean, it's like we're not playing this is not a drama session where we're having a play. You've got an audience in front of you after a 2-hour play. This is a football game. No role playing. It's you pick your best team, your most committed team, your informed team, players who are willing to sacrifice every single week. They put that jumper on. And if you have 3, 4, 5 bad games, I don't care who you are, time to go and go back to the reserves and VFL and start rewarding some of the young players. You know, it's crazy, and age is right. As a young player, to be calling someone when they're trying to do their best is just a role player is an insult. Because do you know Fly? Fly, these are the guys we're going to depend on even more in 2027 next year and beyond. They're our future. And you're telling them, you're describing them as role players only. Start giving them more confidence and back them up. And back them up when you pick them, when you go in, shut the door and go with your colleagues and talk seriously about these guys. Because, you know, I reckon deep down, they're just shaking their head from one week to another. They must be mystified by selections that go from one week to the next, and it's always one of those young guys that get omitted. And yet you see the form of those veterans and older guys and experienced guys, and even like a guy like Bo McQuarrie. My God, how many more times do we have to see this guy just show the pitiful display at AFL level? He's just gone. He's a typical example of a Collingwood player gone backwards in the last 2 years.
No more midfield for Bo. What happened? What happened with Bo in the midfield? Is that gone out the window now? Is it? I don't know. You have to ask Sean how many times he's been playing in the midfield. He hasn't been in the last couple of weeks. So put him in the midfield and let him hunt the ball. Change the players around a bit. Get him excited. Do something. He better go in there with a ruckman this week, an extra ruckman to help out Cameron when he needs to be locked up. If he goes in there against Gawn and Van Rooyen without another ruckman, they're going to smack us all over the place.
While there's a pause there, just welcome on stage Chrissy.
Hey Matt, how you going?
How you going, mate?
Oh, not good. I'm at my sister's and I can't wait. I can't make my microphone work. So I have to make it work through my phone. I hope I don't lose credit.
Okay. You're sounding good. You're just a bit hot. Maybe just step away from the mic a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're coming through pretty clear.
Mm.
Oh, you don't have Wi-Fi there?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hopefully you can hang in for as long as you can. Anything you want to talk about apart from our little forward who's been missing in action for 12 months?
Well, I was going to bring up, if it's cool, like Bobby. What do you think of him being at training today?
I thought it's shit, and it's not good news. Yeah, because
I don't know. I don't know what to think about it.
How many times has this been? So yeah.
What I will say is, Matty, there's a report that come out. I just watched it before on agenda setters, and the bloke, I forgot the bloke with the glasses. He said that apparently the big boys at the club brought him in for a meeting. They brought him in for a meeting, and they put it on him. That's why he come to the club. So they must have told him, listen, get your ass to the club, or fucking next week we're gonna fucking strip your contract. And if you think that you're gonna get 800 grand at another club, you're delusional. You'll be getting 300 grand max. So apparently there's a report that the club put it on him, and as soon as they put it on him, he knew the game was up. Right, the game's up, and he got his ass to training straight away, and he didn't look too fucking bad. So that's what the report is, that they put
Damien Barrett.
No, the other bloke.
Mitch Cleary.
Yeah, him.
Mitch Cleary.
Oh.
He said if they had a meeting with the big boys at the club, I reckon maybe the CEO, Fly grabbed him, and Gardner, and said, listen, buddy, you're playing the game now. Get back to the club, or it's stamp time. And he got his ass down here. So all we can do now is hopefully he stays there, right? And he keeps training, and in about a month's time, get him into the side, and fucking that's it. That's all we can do, mate.
Yeah, that little cunt better be fair income now. I swear to fucking God. I'm
the same.
Today, like Matt said, today was, so I watched Swoop's training report. It was a little bit clickbaity, his title, but I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well, he's back. Let's fucking watch. I watched it, and like Manny said, he looked fantastic. So this little cunt is fighting fit. He's fucking ready to go. And this is the shit he fucking does to us when he's watching us getting fucking pumped every fucking week, and the forwards have got no idea, and there's Ned Long in the forward line. That little cunt's just in fucking WA, probably living his best fucking life, doing whatever he wants with the bloody 70K hitting the bank account every fucking month, and that we all pay for, mind you. Every single person on this panel and every single person in this chat's fucking paying for. That little cunt better be fair income now, and I'm so glad that the report is that they put it on him, because I'll tell you now, this is crunch time. If he fucking leaves the club again for any reason, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do. You can call me a fucking racist or whatever you want, but it doesn't matter if his name was Bobby Hill or Jordan Ngoe or fucking whatever. I'd feel the same way.
Me too. I think it's his last chance.
Josh says he seemed happy and in good mental space based on Swoop's video. Yeah, he got paid 50 grand clear into his bank on the first.
Yeah, I was just about to say, how can you
payday this week?
But yeah, and I say this with all like being super genuine about this. How can you determine where his mental health space is at just off a video? You know, and just because he's kicking a football around, it's not hard to be smiling and laughing if you're kicking a footy around.
Yeah, but the club doesn't give a fuck about his mental health anymore. The club told him to get his ass in training, and I won't be surprised if behind the scenes the club has spoken to the AFL and they've teed up an exit plan for him. And they could have done it behind the scenes. They would have grabbed him. You know why? It's because Checkers, Ellie, Jamie, and Bobby, that was 100 goals last year. They all kicked combined. Now we haven't got any of them. So we've got no goal kickers. So what they've done is they would have said, you know what we do? We'll put it on him to come back to the club. If he doesn't come to the club, what we'll do is we'll rip up his contract and we'll use his money to bring in another player in the draft next year. Right, so they've put it on him. It's very surprising all of a sudden Bobby Hill comes back into the club in 2 seconds, right, and starts training his ass off because he knows if the club stops paying him all his loans that he's pulled out because he thinks he gets 800 grand a year, so he's gone over his fucking his loan limit, becomes fucking, yeah, mate.
He doesn't have to do anything apparently. Under this is what someone else was talking about the other night on the stream, is that he can stuff around basically and use mental health as the reason, and he can getting paid for another year.
Another year.
Have you heard about that, Sean?
No, this is news to me. I'd fucking love to know. So what? So he can sit on the sidelines for 24 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it would be discriminating against someone with mental health or something like that. I think it was Peter who was talking about it. So
yeah.
So if that's true, the club's screwed. So the only way, I can't believe we're talking about him, but anyway.
Right, so basically, till the end of next season, we can't do anything about it as long as he's claiming his mental health.
Yep. Peter, if you're listening, I don't know if I'm misquoting you, but I think it was something like that. That we when they pull that the mental health issue comes up, then we can't legally sack them. We can only trade them. Well, so normally in a normal situation, so we're not fulfilling your contract. Oh, but I've got mental health issues. Here's a letter from my psychiatrist.
Yeah.
So then if they're sacked, then that would be unfair dismissal under the workplace relations. This is what was talked about. I'm not making a claim here. This is just what someone else told me. On the stream. It was when we were streaming the other night, which is absolutely shit if that's the case. That is crap. But
that's what pisses me off even more, mate.
Oh.
Me too.
I'll do a bit of AI looking around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very clear that he's been advised. This is the thing that shits me the most, because the contract, re-signing of the contract, lining up with the bloody pissing off after a couple of weeks after that or whatever it was, it all lines up to show that we've been absolutely screwed. That's what shits me in all this. It was all planned, it was all orchestrated, and all the rest of it. So that's where the anger lies with me. Like I said, if from the start he had done it the right way and said, look, I came out, it doesn't even need to come out, but just the club or whoever just explains the situation and gives a timeline and whatnot, I reckon we all would have been like, oh, well, look, it is what it is, whatever. But it's just the fact that it's all behind closed doors and there's all this bullshit, which is what's infuriating everyone, I think, now. Because like I said, you don't mind 6 months if you get explained the reason why, but when you're going to like a year and you haven't heard shit, that's where it starts getting annoying.
Especially when it's like, how many times has he like left and then come back as well too? Isn't this his like third crack at it as well? Like,
I think fourth time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah. At the end of the day, like, at what point? Because I feel like the AFL should step in at some point. How they step in, who the hell knows, or even like the club to an extent. But it's like, yeah, obviously it's not just an easy thing of just like, hey, Bobby, like pull your head in, because obviously, yeah, it's what was it before he's being advised. In terms of how to tread water with the current situation from like a legal perspective. But yeah, sure. That's, and especially it would be a bit different if it was like he signed the contract and then he had issues, say 12 months on from the contract. But it's like he literally had issues. He literally started to have issues the second he signed that contract.
Before, bro. He knew.
No, I know, but the fact I don't know the timeline of it exactly, but basically when he signed that contract, that's pretty much when he stopped playing.
Yeah, exactly. 2 weeks later.
Yeah. So like, and the fact that's when like he got his like money and everything. Like, I don't know how the AFL can't look at that and go, nah, something's really dodgy here. What's going on? Yeah, it's an utter joke. Like, I don't know how anyone can put it any different. Like, or how anyone could even like twist this. It'll never be a positive, obviously, but like, I don't know how anyone can twist this into a point where this isn't just. Oh, I probably shouldn't be saying certain words because but yeah, the fact that it was just he was playing, everything was normal, and then just overnight it was just, we just didn't see Bobby.
They should put a clause. They should put a clause in his contract. That's what they should have done. But the problem was he was bringing his son to the club. His missus was coming there. Big happy family club. Everything was rosy. And behind the scenes there was mayhem. Right. The club offered him fucking $3.6 million over fucking 4 or 5 years. Right. He signed the contract, locked himself in, and the rest is history, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, Void! I absolutely hope there's a clause in that. I mean, but also as well, you would think there would have to be a clause because I mean, like, even when it comes like Dane Beams, like, surely we learn from the Dane Beams situation as well. Like, surely we learned from. I mean, I guess Brody Grundy's different because at least Brody like turned up and stuff, and it just so happened that he just wasn't going to take that pay cut. But
well, there's a clause in fucking Geordie's contract. I can guarantee you that they got a clause in Geordie's contract.
There was like a media report when he signed a few years ago. Yeah, that was apparently the sticky point was that he didn't want it, but the club was insinuating that for you to sign. Exactly. Yeah, because that was peak, like going off to Bali and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it was the year when he went off to Bali and he had that, the whole situation in Bali. That was his contract year, and then signed a 5-year contract.
Yeah. We got lucky with
22,
Jane Beams. We got very lucky with Jane Beams in the end. They were able to negotiate that out, and it wasn't even part of the salary cap to pay him out, I'm pretty sure. So clearly there was a clause in his contract or something, or there was some agreement with the AFL to get out of that one. I can only hope that it's the same rule applies here, that there's some, weird fucking rule that can get you out of a contract if need be. And like Matt mentioned the other night, it was Peter G who mentioned it. He did say he was a government worker though, so that could be like the fucking woke government bloody bullshit. So who knows? But yeah, private companies might be a bit different or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope there's a clause in there. That's all I give a shit about.
Okay, here we go. Can we see that, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so contract, Bobby Hill has signed. Oh no, sorry, hang on. Let's go up a bit. Okay, under standard AFL collective bargaining agreement, Collingwood is legally obligated to guarantee and pay Bobby Hill's full base salary for the entire duration of his contract, which runs until the end of 2030, regardless of how much time he spends sidelined for personal or mental health leave. AFL contracts are fully guaranteed legal agreements. Clubs cannot unilaterally reduce a player's base pay or stop paying them simply because they are on extended personal leave. The financial and contractual realities of Bobby Hill's situation breaks down as follows. Are you fucking kidding me?
We robbed us fucking blind. That means he robbed us blind.
Yep.
The money I'm not as concerned
we're on the
with.
hook. We're on the hook for 3.3 million.
Yeah. The money I'm not as
remainder of his term.
concerned with, as long as you can pay him out and it's outside the salary cap. That's all I give a fuck about. Whatever the number is, I don't give a shit. As long as you can move it out and not have it as part of the salary cap. Because we got lucky, we were able to do that with Jane Beams. I'm hoping the same rule applies here. Because I heard a few, like there was a few chat tonight on some other lives and stuff like that about like what's he valued at the trade table. He's worth nothing at the trade table. He's in worse nick than what Jamara Ugle-Hagan was. I'm telling you now. People think that Jamara was bad. In my opinion, this is worse. I don't give a shit what anyone says. This is worse, much worse. Jamara only had a year left on his contract. We're talking 3 years left on this contract here. And if the money's guaranteed, there is no chance another club's going to take on that bigger risk, that amount of money. 0% chance. So he's just going to continue doing what he's doing unless we can completely ship him off and pay him out fully and somehow get lucky where the AFL gives us like special, a special sort of, I don't know, allowance or whatever, or it's just, part of the soft cap maybe instead of the salary cap, whatever. But as long as they can rectify the issue. So, it's just, it has to end. This is the thing. Has to end. Has to be a resolution at the end of this year, one way or another. Whether he's fully committed, which he won't, or you fuck him off. Simple as that. Don't worry about the draft picks. Don't worry about the trade. Just get rid of the guy. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Can't go another 12 months.
If I tell you what, if I hear any more of these fucking smoke blowing fucking YouTubers on there going on about how good Bobby is and they can't wait. Oh.
Yep.
It's infuriating. But now we actually need him to start playing so that he's got some value. So now that he's back at the club, I hate to say this, but I want him to train and play. What's the alternative? He fucks off again and we start all over again. He's going to keep going all year. So the two alternatives is he fucks off every couple of weeks, comes back. Fucks off every week, comes back. And every time it's destabilizing the club. The only thing that's going to be stable is if he actually stays this time and in a month gets back in the side and keeps playing. Then we trade him. We should get a second rounder for him. If he keeps this whole routine going, in out, then who's going to want him?
Honestly, I'd just be pick 100 and just take his
whatever,
salary.
anything.
I don't take whatever.
Half his salary would be probably the best you could get. We're paying for half of it, and then Freo gets him for a third round or something like that.
Yeah,
or West Coast.
Weeks left. He's got 12 weeks left plus finals. I'll guarantee you, when he goes, if he can go back to Perth after the season's done for 6 months, he's got 6 months to go back and spend with his family. I'll guarantee when he goes back there, he's going to be wishing he was playing fucking football. He's going to get his head done in, his balls busted, right? Then he's going to want to come back to the club. So 12 weeks, he's got 1 month. Get fucking Wade out there, start fucking running him into the ground, get him primed, and then fucking slot him in. Even give him 70% game time at AFL level. He's playing the fucking forward line. How fit do you have to be to play in the forward line? Don't make him run up and down the ground, up the flank. Just fucking slot him in the forward line and let him play fucking forward pocket. And that's fucking it. Because what's going to happen?
Manny, I'm telling you, guys, just one point. I guarantee you that Bobby's manager has been talking while he's been over in Perth, and conversations have been growing that the West Coast Eagles and Bobby, it will probably happen. I guarantee it'll probably happen. And I would be absolutely amazed if Bobby's manager, with Bobby's approval, hasn't been talking to certain people at the West Coast Eagles. You cannot possibly expect Bobby to continue beyond this year. We cannot allow this to go on any longer beyond this year. We need to sort of. I can't see him getting into the Freo team. To me, that would be more of a distraction and a disruption to the way that they're flying at the moment, and they are very close to a premiership. I think that would be upheaval to get him into that club, and I think that would be the wrong thing for them to do. So I think if he wants to go back to where his partner is and most of his family, they've got to entertain the idea that, and I would. That's what I'm saying. I would be amazed if his manager hasn't already been talking to certain people at West Coast Eagles to get him in there next year. We cannot allow this to continue again beyond this year. This has gone on far too long. We are a laughing stock, and we need to pull our heads in, and we need to be stronger, and we need to be stronger at Bobby and get his manager in sometime between now and finals, draw up the plan so that we can prepare to work out who we are going to get for him, who we are going to target, and whoever it may be. It's got to be a damn sight better result than continuing this farcical situation for another 12 months.
Yeah.
It's enough. It's become a joke, and it was actually a joke at the start of the year, and we've let it get that way. And I think I was on the stream, on Mick's stream last year, when I said that I think we need to be very careful because this could grow into 2026 through 2026 because I had misgivings about signing to the other contract, and I have been vindicated. There are others as well that didn't trust.
I wanted him traded last year.
Yeah. Same with me. There was too much. I just felt uneasy about the whole thing. We weren't getting clear. Fly wasn't prepared to discuss it. He kept saying he was training, and we all had hope that he would come in during finals or leading into finals. That didn't happen, but we were all played for suckers, and we're all getting played for suckers again this year. It's got to stop. We are a laughing stock, and I don't like it.
Voidoid, the club will easily negotiate or go to court. They can't, mate. His contract is ironclad because it's the collective bargaining agreement. So you're protected under normal contract law in Australia, but you've also got this clause. All he needs to do to take personal leave under mental health is a letter from a psychologist or a psychiatrist. That's all he needs.
Which would be so easy to get to.
It's anyone can get it basically.
Yeah.
So that's it, and so that wouldn't hold up in Collingwood. No, they can't go to court over it because he has that clause that if he doesn't want to play because of mental health, they have to give him personal leave. Now I was going off AI, but AI is quoting sources. So we can read into it if you want. But here's the 2024 to 2027 industry mental health and well-being strategy ensures that players taking leave to manage their health is now standard supported process rather than the reason for dismissal. So,
yeah. Plus, we're in a harder position as well.
I think. Look, hey, having said that, Voidoid, maybe there's if the club could show that he's taking the piss and he doesn't really have mental health issues, like if he was, I'm going into an area I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna. Do you know what I mean? Though, like, if you went to court and they found out he was doing like playing football for a countryside or something. You know, you're taking personal leave, but you go and playing for this bush side in Perth or whatever. Maybe that could be a way that it could be reversed. I don't know. It seems to me as though the club's stuck with him.
I'll just bring up one thing that you might find interesting. So my uncle, actually two of my uncles and a couple of their mates, they go to the AGM every year, right?
Yep.
And they went to the AGM for the conclusion of last season, right?
Yeah.
Now, it used to be just open slather. You used to be able to literally stand up and ask you a question. But that's a bit out of vogue. Now they want to vet your questions prior and all that, which is fine. But I think there was 5 or 6 of them that ended up going. All 5 or 6 of them submitted the exact same question. And the question was, what are you going to do with Bobby Hill in terms of like next year if these problems persist? Does the club have a plan, right? Now, they didn't answer the question. However, afterwards, they spoke to someone, like a representative of the club. They just said, our question didn't get asked. And, the usual bullshit. It's a little bit of a sensitive topic. And they got told, don't worry, it's all under control and it's all going to be 100% next year to start the year. That's what they got told from a representative from the club. So it's not only the coach that gaslights us, it's also representatives that, at board level or whatever levels that person was. And I'm not sure what the follow-up to that was, but I'm pretty sure they said, okay, well, why didn't you answer the question and, give some clarity to the members and whatnot? And they just say, these things are sensitive and, we can't really talk about it. But rest assured, we're going to under full control and next year everything will be fine. So just funny how, what's that, 7 or 8 months ago and the bullshit's still going. So that might lean into what you were saying before, Matt, where they know he's got him on the hook and there's nothing we can fucking do about it. And you're just hoping that the bloke just comes good out of the goodness of his heart. One thing I will say is he clearly doesn't give a fuck about our club.
No, absolutely none. Like if he cared, he would have tried to get right when Jamie Elliott and Purple went down. That's when we needed him. And this is so Dogs didn't have to pay Jamara Ugle-Hagan, and Lucas had a good point similar to that, I think, about Stengel, was it?
Yeah, because what happened with Jamara was the AFL got involved, and what they done is he had to go to for him to go play at the Suns, he had to go to the AFL. Then the AFL had to tick off on him playing for the Suns. He had to do all these fucking courses. They made him do all these courses and stuff, mental health stuff, and then they ticked him off, and he got a contract at the Suns for fucking. For piss all, 200 grand a year, base wage. So that's why he's playing there now. But he had to go through the AFL and do all these fucking courses and shit to get back.
See what Ricky's saying here is that Jamara was a bit of a different. He's had a few incidents that the club were able to use. So that's probably a situation where if the stuff that Bobby's done, really bad, immoral crap, whatever. Just speculating here. I'm not making any claims. If that was the case, then the club probably has a foot to stand on to say no, we can exit out of this contract, because it's one thing to have personal leave, but if you're doing all of this stuff behind the scenes, it's not good for the fabric of our club, and then we want to terminate the agreement in a reasonable way. So possibly that's possible. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We're getting a bit of feedback there, Manny. I think you want to say something there, Manny?
No, what am I echoing again, buddy? Is it echoing?
Just a bit of static. It's not too bad. Can't hear it now. Yep, that's fine. It's coming back. What's this? Jamara has a 1-year deal with the Trigger. Is that at the Suns? Jamara's got that.
Well, Crispy just got that at our club. He just pulled a trigger off. He's gone on next year. He clocked a trigger.
Yeah.
Keep that record going.
Exactly.
That's all he gives a fuck about.
Yes, it seems as though the club's on the same page there. He needs a... Hey, remember, they've stopped managing players, by the way. Have you guys noticed that? They don't manage players anymore.
Nah, it's all over, buddy.
Unless it's Ned Long. So that he gets protected to come straight back in after a week.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
But
it's literally...
Why aren't they managing a Crisp? Why aren't they managing a Long? Why aren't they managing a Josh Dacos? Why aren't they managing a McCreary? Because that's their tool that when Fly's favourites are really a bit on the nose, the trigger he used to pull with, we'll manage them, because he didn't want to hurt their feelings saying that they were dropped. Plus, they didn't have to come back through the VFL. We're not even doing that now.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does with Steele this week. Be very interested to see what he does with side bottom this week. He should get dropped. He should get dropped. So let's see. He won't.
Yeah, because of the bye next week. That's what he'll do.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that, when Anthony and Benny do that, they do the selection, moving the magnets. Isn't that the most pointless exercise in the football media world to do, to try and
move? The magnets never move.
They're trying to, like, I often agree with what their picks are, but it's never anything like what Fly ever ends up picking.
It should be called not moving the magnets.
It's the biggest wishful thinking. I look at the team, I'm going, yeah, I agree. I almost agree about 90% of the time with their picks and their ins and outs, right? And then it's just nothing like it. And you just go, oh, fuck, Membry's in. What?
Yeah.
We can't even talk about that bloke.
Do you think Crispy's told Fly I don't want to be managed?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you reckon he'd say to Fly, I don't want to be like Pendles, I don't want to be like Howie or Sidey or Geordie or anyone like that. I just want to keep on playing. Just play me. Because then, again, he's thinking of just continuous games. Some people might think, well, he's been managed, maybe he's injured. And then that questions that record. I just wonder because, why hasn't he been managed?
Yeah, well, it's either Crisp or the club.
Last year.
Yeah. It's either Crisp or the club that's making that call. And, I'd be curious to know which one it is. Because it's either the club being like, hey, because it's either the club being like, hey, we can make some money on this, like, end the line. Because obviously they made like the money off Pendles and all these other scenarios as well too. So I can see it from that perspective. But then I could also just see from Jack's perspective as well, where it's like, well, he doesn't want to get dropped, so he's not going to advocate himself to, to not play a certain week. I mean, mind you, if I'm in Jack's position, I'd be doing the same thing. I could be banged up to the point where I could have like no leg. And I'd still go to the club and go, no, I'm playing this week. Or, I'm not injured, I'm good, whatever. And I could have like a missing leg. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't even put that on Jack, but that should be on the club. But I feel like the club's even, we're going to preserve the games record. And, I don't know what the number is now, but if he's close to say 250 or 300 or whatever, that could be a milestone they could celebrate, and then they could use that from like a marketing perspective. It's shit that if we're doing that, but like I could so easily see that could be a reason.
And that then I would question every little bit of Jared Wade's integrity and Flies, because don't give us that shit last year, week after week, when we were top of the ladder, and say to the other guys, it's a case of managing, and he constantly, and we've spoke about this so often, fly continual praise and drop the name of Jared Waite in the presses. I've got a lot of faith in him, he said. He's the best, and all this sort of stuff. 100% believe everything that Jared Wade tells me at this club. And it's funny. It constantly gave that guy a rap during last year's presses when we were going well. And everyone sort of thought, yeah, it's going well. Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, why not? And I must admit, while it was going well, it seemed like the right thing to do at the time. But I think the integrity and you go now fast forward 12 months, what's going on this year? And where is that integrity? It's and where is that sort of consistency that we had last year? Because after all, some of these guys are, they're older now. They're 12 months older. They're a lot more banged up now. You can see they're banged up. They're not worthy of selecting, really, to be quite honest. It's actually quite embarrassing seeing Sidey out there, struggling week after week. So what's going on with why is he not mentioning Jared Wade this year?
He sort of half refers to him when he said, "I'll let other people decide that." He says that often. Maybe
half
he's referring to Wade there.
Not giving him a glow of not giving him a glow of approval though this year. Because it's a bit of a dirty word at the moment, isn't it? Management of players. Yeah. It was all right when things were going well last year when we're top, but when we're struggling and falling short in a lot of games, doesn't want to mention that, does he?
Yeah. No. There is also another record we don't talk too much about. It's Sidey and Pendles playing together as well. They've liked to milk that as well too. So maybe in terms of Sidey playing, maybe that's what it is. As long as Pendles is playing, they can get those games up in that too. Because I'm pretty sure they celebrated that. Was it 2 seasons ago, where there was like a record or something like that, where 2 teammates. Because I think it was Selwood and Hawkins that were like on top or something. The teammates that played together. And I don't know if they passed them or something or
350 games, bro. 350 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, Mello.
That's the problem.
Just want to address Mello's point here. He knows managing players too much is what cost us last year, and that's true. He was managing players who were playing well at dumb times, like managing Howe against Geelong. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm talking about management, I'm talking about Fly won't drop his favourites who deserve to be dropped or really do need a spell, like a Sidey, like a Beau McCreary, like a Crisp, like Quaynor or a Lipper or a Long, right? He won't drop them. So what we're asking him to do is Fly, and no, you don't want to hurt their feelings. Can you just manage them for 2 or 3 weeks? Yeah, call it managed on the official ins and outs, so he doesn't hurt his buddy's feelings. That's kind of what we're getting at.
Yeah.
Because he's not dropping Sidey. If Sidey goes out, it'll be managed, even though it should say omit it next to his name.
He wasn't at training today, so we'll see.
Yeah, apparently there was only 2 people. Apparently there was only 2 people in the rehab group today. So I would imagine there's more than 2 now on our injury list. So yeah, there must have been a few missing today.
Pez be very handy inclusion.
Oh, we need him badly, bro. Badly. Fuck me.
Yeah, but I don't want to rush him back though. That's my thing, and like the fact that.
Yeah, but bro, if he's fit, he's fit, bro. If he's fit, he's fit. What are we gonna do? If he's fucking ready to go, bring him in. We just can't fucking We just can't cuddle players now. Bring him in, mate. If he's ready to go and his hamstring's recovered, just fucking bring him straight in. If he breaks down, we'll fucking
I don't trust the club. I really do not trust the club. Like, because I'm pretty sure, wasn't it last week? It was like a week or two, you know.
Yeah, but how long has it been?
And like
4 weeks.
Oh, I don't know. As I said, I just don't trust the club, especially with the way they handled Darcy. Darcy Moore and stuff when he had a genuine hamstring, and he came back 2-3 weeks later, and then he did his hamstring again, and now they're trying to cover it up by him going over to like Germany or something, just about like
who Darcy Moore?
Go to, the fact that we're trying to go.
No, he's gone to San Francisco.
Oh, okay, yeah. Probably Germany was probably the one he did like ages ago, like 18 or something. But still, regardless, like the fact that it's like, hey, how about we take a bit of accountability, and basically we brought a guy back off a 5-week hamstring, most likely in 3 weeks. How about we take a bit of accountability and maybe like sort of don't just have this narrative where Darcy has to go elsewhere to get his hamstrings fixed. How about he just stays an extra 2 weeks and doesn't play that Hawthorn game where he looked like utter shithouse? Everyone knew that he was also playing injured. Like, it's just, I don't know, it just feels like it's just a massive, like, hey, look, like over here where everything's great, when really behind the scenes, everything's like on fire. Like,
he's going to trust our doctors. What the fuck? Why the fuck would you go to San Francisco for your hamstrings? It's because he doesn't trust our doctors. He must think we've got shit doctors and physios in the fucking club. Why would you get up now? Why would you get up and go to San Francisco? You're trying to tell me that fucking we haven't got good fucking doctors and physios in the club. He must think.
Well, the fact that he had a hamstring injury that probably lasted about 5 weeks, and they brought him back after like 3. That's not the medical department being bad. That's just that is like a specific intent to be incompetent. You can't have a 5-week hamstring and then bring him back 3 weeks later, and then to expect everything to be all rosy. Like, and that's why in the Hawthorn game he looked horrible, because he was still injured. And then the week after, was it the Sydney game, or I don't know the timelines or whatever, but yeah, whatever it was the week after, he ended up, doing his injury anyway because he's probably underdone. And it sucked because he actually looked half decent, but like, yeah, like why are we? Yeah, I just don't know why we're putting our people in general, players and whoever, in these positions where we're basically setting them up to fail. Where when we were winning the flag in 23 and even the 22 season, we set our people up to succeed, not the other way around. Like, why have we all of a sudden, we've now won this flag in 23 and we're now like a complete opposite, a polar opposite of what we were in 23? Like,
we've got to find out if his missus went up there with him. If his missus went up there with him, they could have gone up there for a little holiday break, and they're just using it as an excuse. Oh, that he's gonna go up there. Who the fuck? What is this bloke in San Francisco? The fucking hamstring specialist? What's he gonna do? Seriously, what's he gonna do with his hamstrings? What? Inject some fucking fluids in there or something? Come on, man. What the fuck?
Darcy Moore, San Francisco, Pride Month, but no. Darcy's going to San Francisco. He'll be sure to wear a flower in his hair.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Darcy's going to San Francisco.
How's he captaining the club from fucking there? He should have fucking put the captaincy on the table. What's he doing? How's he going to be captain from up there? He should have just fucking resigned as captain. That's it. Simple.
Yeah, this was the time to give it up. Hey guys, obviously I've got to concentrate on being a backman and doing the best for the club. I'm relinquishing the captaincy, and then the club can go and announce the same day at a press conference. Darcy Moore, Nick Dacos sitting there with the coach, Craig McClay. What a buzz. What a lift that would be for the club.
Fucking nice.
You know, and Nick Dacos leads the side out to the big freeze gate. Because I tell you what, Melbourne are going to fucking lift on Monday. We need a lift. Wouldn't that have been a fucking thing to get the army going? Nick Dacos announced as captain. Wouldn't that be just the buzz we need right now?
They don't want buzz anymore, bro. They want to bring us down that hard. They want to keep bringing us down to that fucking level. And if we don't beat Melbourne, and then we're going to go through the bye, so we lose to Melbourne, then we'll wait 2 more weeks till we play fucking Port Adelaide, and it's just going to be miserable scenes.
Yep. What's going on here? Shit. Hang on, Chris. I'll send it to you now. Oh, actually, I'll put it in the chat.
Where's Chris been? Gone missing.
It dropped out.
If we lose to Melbourne, get ready. Afternoon job on all the streams. There's going to be fucking carry on like we haven't seen before. Guaranteed.
Actually, to be honest, I think not only are we losing, I think we're getting belted. Like,
don't say that, Sean. I'm already doing hard, bro. Don't fucking make me lose it even more, bro. I can't handle this shit, bro. I'm telling you. This is. I'm gonna call the club to get me a psychiatrist like Bobby does, mate. They're fucking my mental health up. I can't handle this shit. I don't like it when we play like this, bro. You fucking pisses me off.
I'm telling you now. I reckon expect it. At this point, I'm expecting 7-8 goal loss, and that's like at the bare minimum.
That's a pumping there. We can't fucking go through that. If we cop a 7-8 goal loss, we're gonna fucking lose on Monday afternoon. I guarantee you, bro.
Yeah, I can see it from a mile away by just the way that Melbourne are playing and the way that Stephen King has them playing with like no fear and like a game plan where it's like, yeah, who gives a fuck? We're just gonna attack.
After last week when they got pumped, they're gonna come out now and they're gonna fucking go right on with it.
Yeah.
They've set themselves for this one, I reckon, too. No doubt. Neil Danaher. It's MCG. They've got I think they've won every game. The G, unlike us, I think they've been 100% so far in their 5 games or 5 wins. Yeah. And that was a bit of a I wouldn't believe last week's performance because that was up north. You get those sorts of performances, and don't you worry, they'll be fired up. And Max Gorn will have a field day, will dominate, and
he's going to smash
about 7 or 8 goal. Yeah, I just hope, play the same team Flyers we have. Don't make any changes. Keep the same guys in. We get done by 10 goals. If it's 10, I just want to see the reaction then, because that will be the biggest spotlight and reality check, which should dawn on Fly and everyone at Collingwood as to what has happened this year. Enough of these close losses and respectable losses and all this sort of stuff. If we just get a little bit of our own medicine that we probably should be expecting against, I think, a team that's probably evolved and got better this year under a new coach. Playing the kids. Melbourne are playing the kids.
Yep.
They show us up on Monday by 10 goals, then surely the spotlight and the microscope's got to be on Fly and everything that he has done up until this point.
Yeah, Checkers kicks 5 on us. Watch Checkers kick 5 on us, and it'll be double the fucking pain. Watch. If he kicks 5 goals on us, then it's going to go real crazy.
I actually put that in the vault about 2 months ago. Pretty sure it was 5, I said. So
I hope Checkers has a miserable day. I was out there talking about how happy I was for Checkers, and we're going to should give him a round of applause. And then he did that fucking interview with Tom Mitchell, and totally like how ungrateful he was the chance that we gave him, and his whole story about how no one picked him up for 6 drafts, and Collingwood finally gave him a chance. And then he's all getting all pissy about how we wouldn't give him more than 1 year. Bloke was lame, 33 years old. 1 year was all we were willing to offer. It's not like we delisted him like Coxie. Coxie had a bit of, a case.
How old was he too?
There was nothing in that interview. He didn't. I was waiting for him to go. I've got to say, I've left. I'm in Melbourne now, but thank you, Collingwood. You gave me a chance. I had a premiership there. It was 7 of the best years of my life. I'll never forget they gave me a chance when every other club ignored me for 6 years. Collingwood finally put their hand out and gave me a lifeline and turned me who I am today. And I would have loved to have stayed there, but I had to look at my own security, and Melbourne were willing to offer me 3 years. And Collingwood only offered me 1. So I had to say, thanks a lot, guys, but I need to look after my family and my security, and it's a mutual agreement. I moved to Melbourne, and I'm happy to be here. That's all he had to say.
Yeah.
Listen to that interview, guys. He's a fucking sook. Really disappointed with Checkers. Fucking bad attitude. I'd be booing him if I was there.
The club lets them get away with too much bullshit, mate. The club lets them get away with too much.
And that Tom Mitchell, sooking it up as well. We gave him Hawthorn didn't want him. He got a premiership with us. He loves getting people on who have left Collingwood and they sook it up together.
Hey, this club better grow some fucking testicles, mate. I'm telling you, this club's become fucking so fucking soft. There's no fucking balls in the club anymore. You know what, mate? I'll guarantee you. You make Nick captain. Nick's gonna start asking questions. You watch. If he's got that title as captain, he's gonna start asking questions. Questions need to be asked at this club. There's too much bullshit going on, and they're drip feeding us.
Yeah.
Every week there's a new story. Oh, now it's the CEO. Who's gonna be next week? The fucking the boot stutter. Huh? Every week there's a fucking drama. Every single week.
Yeah.
You know what they talk about how Craig Kelly and Justin Lepich, they're not very liked at the club. I bet you because they're real men, and everyone else gets triggered around them because they say shit that offends these softies. I bet you that's why they're not liked. I bet you.
Mm-hmm. Also, as well, just on Brady Mycheck, he's 33 at the moment. So, yeah, name me a player that doesn't get more than a 1 year contract at 33 years of age.
Yeah,
and that's
injury prone.
And that's also, and that's 33 now. He's going to be 34 in the 4th of February. So,
done a hamstring already. He already done a hamstring. Missed fucking 3 games of football. So he's only played fucking 9 games. So there you go already. Hamstring. So it's starting to break down already.
Yep.
It's another thing that annoys me about the media is they're like, oh, Collingwood, you've got to move on these old players, and you're going off the cliff, and you're an aging list. And so we move someone on because we didn't want to offer him more than 1 year. Oh, why'd you get rid of Mycheck? You moved on Cox, you moved on Mycheck. We fucking can't win with you guys.
Yeah.
If we kept him, like, why'd you keep on Mycheck? Fucking Corns and all these dickheads.
Yeah, that is literally a Corn special, that one. Literally, whatever we do, he's always on the negative side. Every fucking time. It's either, you didn't play the kids, because you got too many old players, and then we drop all the old players to play the kids. It's like, Penderbury would have been really important for you. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Because, which game was it? The Sydney game? And it's like, Penderbury would have been really important. You only lost by a goal. So like,
Pendles is Pendles is not going interstate on a 6-day break anyway. He's not playing a 5-day break against Hawthorn. He wasn't playing in those games anyway.
Yeah.
So he'll spot like something like that you could never tell whether that's going to cost us a game or not. And we're maintaining a 38-year-old's fitness through a season. He's one bloke we are going to manage, right? Because he's like our second best player. So we fucking need him. If we're getting 15 games out of him this year, and we gets the finals, that's a good investment, right? And but then Corns doesn't bring up shit like Ned Long playing forward, or Will Hayes getting dropped after kicking 2 goals, and Darcy Moore coming out of the side and he's replaced by Will Parker, stuff like that.
Can't our players see how embarrassing it is? If you're playing on the field with Pendles and a 38-year-old is doing damage, right? And you're Lipinski, or you're Josh Dacos, or you're Quainer, you're watching a 38-year-old do damage, and you can't even touch the football. You must be ashamed of yourself. How can you go out there and not do damage, especially Lipinski, mate? He's in the team every single week. The bloke doesn't touch it, bro. He might hit one target. He might hit one target every now and then, right? And then he goes fucking missing. Josh needs to go back on the wing. If he's not getting it a half back, put him on the fucking wing. Release him on the wing. Do something, mate. It's starting to get fucking ridiculous, mate.
It's actually funny you say that, Manny, because I was actually saying to someone today, it's like, it's crazy how someone like a Lipinski has as much job security as someone like Pendlebury. And all he gets is like 16 disposals every game. Maybe goes at 70 to 75% efficiency. He might kick a goal 1 in every 4 weeks. And he plays as many games as Pendlebury does every year. In fact, no, he plays more because Pendlebury will have, he'll probably miss 2 games a season now. Wow.
That's what I'm saying, bro. For us to win a game of football, they've got to be putting on pressure at the same time, all of them. They've all got to be putting pressure on. They've all got to be playing well at the same time. If 2-3 of them are off, we can't cover for them. That's when we get pasted. All our players have to be on together. If there's any drop off, we get overrun instantly. You can see it, mate.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually curious how many games has he played, because like for the amount of games he plays, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a certain standard. Like if you get to say 200 games, let's just say for example, like you need to like you can't be having average games. 152 games. There you go.
Bro. Yeah, he's a senior player, bro. He's a senior player.
Yeah.
And he only played, I think he only played 50 games at the Bulldogs because Bevo used to drop him because he wasn't hard enough. So Bevo used to drop him. That's what needs to happen. He needs to go back into VFL, wake up early, play in front of no crowd, and realise that when you come back into the side, you got to fucking lift. You can't just fucking roam around.
Yeah.
Like how many times do you see Lipinski on the fucking coaches' votes? Never. You never see him get coaches' votes. You never see him get best on ground. You never see him come off with a blood rule. You can't even work out where he got concussed. I still can't work out where he got concussion. See?
Because it didn't happen. That's my plot twist for the night. He didn't get concussed. Especially when you have every camera. Especially when you have every camera on that damn football ground, and not one camera angle found any evidence of him being hit, because they would have shown the footage.
Yeah.
But not one bit of evidence.
And you know why they used that? Because last year the club copped a lot of shit when they managed. He was actually playing all right for the first time, and they managed him, and he's been shit ever since.
Yeah.
That was actually real managed. That wasn't dropped. They stupidly managed him to give him a rest. Bloke's 27 years old or something. Doesn't need to be managed, especially when he's finally playing some decent football.
Yeah. Especially this old too, I'm just going to be calling bullshit now for any time, when there's a conversation of like, oh, someone's not fit enough to play senior football, or someone can't do this, someone can't do that from from any perspective, like fitness or whatever. I'm calling bullshit from now on because because I know there was an issue with like Finlay McRae where like his issue was but he only runs the one way in the VFL and stuff, when you could clearly see in VFL he would run both ways. His only issue was that his field kicking wasn't great. And again, it's just like the fact that we don't back in some of these guys, and we back in more of our fringe players to sort of, impact our games instead of taking, the worst option in, like, say, debuting someone. But when when you end up playing a kid, yes, they're going to be probably not as not as, in terms of a performance point of view off the bat. Okay, cool. They're not going to be as good as a certain player on the team. But the point in why you play these kids is that after 20, 30, 40 games, you can then say, oh, damn. So, like someone, Ed Allen, we're now saying, oh, shit, he can actually be a really good inside midfielder now, or he could be a really good tagger. That only happens because we're putting games into him. But if he's coming off, a career where he's only got 10 games, it's like, oh, well, he had a stint where he had like 2 games in a row here and there. Like that's not enough. Like, and then we're actually seeing him getting a decent run at it. And how many times has he been in the actual midfield now? Like 2 games, 3 games, and it's probably the best we've actually ever seen him play.
They're too comfortable, bro. They're too comfortable. They know they're not going to get dropped, bro. I'll be telling Lipinski before the game, right, today you're walking off the field with fucking 25 disposals, 9 fucking score involvements, 9 fucking contested fucking balls, and 2 goals. You understand? If you don't come off the field with those fucking numbers, you're playing VFL next week. Simple. I'll be telling him before the fucking game. So when he goes out there, he knows. I better fucking perform today, or the coach is dropping me. He's put me on notice. But you know what happens? They go out there, their spot's secure. They don't do the extra fucking 5%. They just go through the motions. They're all fucking passengers, right? All passengers, mate. That's what happens. Too many passengers, right, on the train, and we keep getting smacked. That's what's happening, mate.
Yeah, it's really annoying, especially when you have someone like Fly that keeps saying, "Oh, I'm going to have a ping at the stumps," or "I'm a risk taker," and all this stuff. He's the furthest fucking thing from it. And it just annoys me that at the end of the day, why can't we just take an actual gamble where we can throw like a first gamer into the mix? Swaddling's been playing fucking amazing, but we're not playing him. And even if he plays like his first game and he only gets say 12, 13, 14 touches, even though I feel like he'll probably get 20 plus in his debut because he's just a fucking freak like that. But still, like, it's just this whole narrative that it's like we can't like everyone's got to play, well, like off the bat, or like everyone's got to be like 200 gamers and stuff. When we even have players in our team that are 150, 200 gamers, and they're not even playing that well.
Bro, if he's smart, what he has to do is, right, he has to play Swaddling on the bench, let the game go for 10 minutes, get the steam out of the game, let the steam go out of the game, right, or the pressure, and then bring him in slowly, inject him into the game when the game cools down. You don't bring him in straight away when the game's hot. Let it cool down a bit. You slot him in there and let him get to work. That's it, mate.
Take your mind back to Mick Moldhouse when he played Pendles when he was 18, 19. I know Pendles, we now know how good Pendles has been over that duration, 18, 19 years, 18, 19 seasons. But Mick gave him an opportunity, saw the talent, saw the potential. He grew turned into this wonderful midfielder, leader, captain, all that sort of stuff, game winner, possession winner, goal kicker, just smooth mover, Rolls Royce, all that sort of stuff. I know not everyone's like that, but if you don't play them, you don't know. You'll never know. Keeping him, restricting him, holding him back, which is what we're doing with some of those guys, and Swaddling is just that. You're holding him back. He could be our next, I'm not saying he's going to be a Pendles, but he could be our next future 200, 300 game player. He could be.
Yep.
But there's no ambition to seeing what he can do. You're holding him back. And, people say that, oh, he won't be up to it. You'll cook him before he cook him too early and all this sort of stuff. He's the sort of player. I've watched a lot of him in VFL. He's the sort of player. That game where he had virtually 40 possessions 2 or 3 weeks back. Not everyone does that. Good players do that. Highly credentialed players, talented players do that. You don't see other players doing that regularly. It wasn't, he's probably not going to do it again for a while, but that showed me one thing, that this guy's got something. He's got something because not every player can do things like he did that day. Most of his possessions were clean. They were productive to the team. He was an absolute standout, and we saw it in just his short career in the VFL. But there is still doubts with our coaches. They don't want to believe, or they can't believe that guys like that, that's how they can sometimes turn it on here and there. They don't have to play like that. And then I heard all those critics coming out after he formed the week after and saying, oh, there you are. Oh, where was his 35, 40 plus possessions that week? And all this, all the knockers coming out, just wanting him to perform below the great week that he had the week before and all this sort of stuff. Just couldn't wait to knock him and criticise him and all that sort of stuff. He's not there to do that every week. He's a kid. But what we want to see is we want to see these guys adapt at the next level. Because I said it to my mates. I said, this guy's got something. You don't just walk off the ground when you play VFL football and you're absolute total standout and you have 40 possessions basically, and you're that good. I mean, he's a kid, yes, but he showed that he's a potentially talented kid, and we need to address this issue of stop holding him back, stop restricting him. He could very well be, and time will tell, a 200, 250 game, 300 game player. Take the chains off guys like that. Let them play. Let them excite the team, excite the crowd, excite the fans, excite the football public. Put him out there. He mightn't play well every week. Yeah, he mightn't play well he mightn't get, like Sean's point, he might only get 10 or 11 possessions. But that's a starting point, At some point, he's going to grow. He's going to get better. He's going to have more confidence. But if the coach and the coaching panel don't have confidence in him, he's going to doubt himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Daz? It's worse than that. They do have confidence in him. That's why he's not getting a game. Because if they bring in someone who's not part of Club Fly, that means it puts pressure on one of his favourites. That's why they've been playing him on the forward flank, so that when they bring him in, they've got plausible deniability. They can say, oh, well, he come in and he didn't even get 10 touches because he's playing high half forward. So they know he's good, but for Fly, he's that set on his favourites. He's like, oh God, if I bring in a new guy, what if he's better than Sidey? Oh, what if he's better than Lipper? What if he's better than Josh? So what we're going to do, Matty Locken, I want you to start playing Swaddling on the forward flank. So he's not getting as many possessions, and when he comes in, it's going to be the hardest position to play on the field. and then we've got an excuse. Hey. So then Fly said back, hey, we played him. Yeah, he's just not ready. So you'll play him out of position. And the excuse will be, hey, at Collingwood, you need to be able to play in different positions. You need to be versatile, and he can't play on the forward flank, so there's not a place for him. Same reason he played Allen on the wing for 10 rounds.
He's already done with Anderson. Dropped him because Anderson started playing good football, and he got scared. But you know what Anderson done to him? Anderson told him last week. Listen, you dropped me, and you fucked up, because I'm going to come back in, and my moustache is going to start twirling, like it did in Adelaide, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to show you that I'm not to be dropped again. So if Fly even thinks about dropping Angry this weekend, he's got to resign as coach. He better not pull a fucking Swifty and drop Anderson this week. It'll be a fucking disgrace.
That would be a disgrace. Oh,
hey, Voidod, it's one thing to play high half forward in junior footy, but playing high half forward in the AFL is the toughest position on the ground, apart from maybe ruck. It's tough, especially as a rookie. If they play him on the forward flank when he first comes in, that'll be a disservice. Put him on the half-back flank like they did when Nick first played. Yep. Half-back flank or wing is where he plays.
Yeah, one of the two.
I'm pretty certain if he plays on the half-back flank, he will light it up.
Yep.
He's literally in the same conversation as like a Jack Crisp, or even actually in terms of his draft here, I'd say he was probably comparable to even a Perryman, which is actually wild to even say, because like the fact that we've had Perryman be injured, that actually would have been a really good option to go for in terms of like a replacement until Pez got back. But again. I would rather have Swaddling over Parker.
Fucking oath. Parker's not AFL standard, man. Come on. It's not. You're trying to tell me out Parker's AFL standard. Seriously, man. Come on. He thinks all of
it. Actually, I will touch on a point as well too, because I don't know. Void might know this. But when he was playing last year as well too, I can't remember if it might have been Colts actually, where he actually had 4 weeks in a row where he had or it might have been more actually, where he had over 40 disposals in a row. So he can rack up a ton of ball. I mean, as we know in the VFL, you just couldn't watch it to know that. But yeah, this guy can rack up possessions in his sleep, let alone on a footy field. So again, yeah, you just got to play him. Like you just. And even back to like the Penderbury point, it's like I feel like if Penderbury got drafted into this year being his first year, Malthouse would have played him pretty much off the bat. But when it comes to Fly, I reckon Fly would have just like ignored him for 3 years, and then go, oh well, I guess we'll just give him a go and stuff. Like it's just, I feel like he's just really inconsistent with sort of like who he plays and like who he doesn't play. And yeah, it seems like he tries to find excuses in terms of like not to play certain players. Even with like Matt touching on like, yeah, it probably has a bit to do with, if your Flyers mates, like he's going to find a way to create a narrative to, back in his favorites. But it's just frustrating because we're not going to be like, at the end of the day, we are here to win flags. We're here to be a successful football club. And the fact that, yeah, we're actively making ourselves worse every day when we're getting told we're trying to get better every day.
Yeah, it's gaslighting. It's pure gaslighting. Yeah, see, this whole, Fly's a great coach, 2 prelims and a flag. I look at it and go, no, he's cost us maybe 2 flags. Prelims don't mean shit. Like 2024, fucking botched season. 2025, botched second half of the year, botched prelim. That's on Fly. So I see bare minimum, he's cost us bare minimum cost us finals in 2024 and cost us a grand final. Now Brisbane are pretty fucking good. Maybe we don't get the chocolates against Brisbane, but we should have at least made a grand final. And 2024, he cost us finals. 2024 was the year. We're going back to back in 2024, and we missed out by a percentage or some shit in the end. And we were the best team in it. We beat Brisbane towards the end, but that just shenanigans early in the year, just stupid selections. We had injuries, but yeah, he's been coaching badly since 2024.
Yeah, no, I've been saying this for like a few weeks now. If you get Chris Scott in that chair, we should be going into this season being three premiers. Like it's like I've got no doubt in my mind because it's not even just 1 + 1 = 2 and all that stuff. When you have selection integrity and then every week it's okay, we're gonna say put like a crisp in the VFL, we're gonna put a side in the VFL because we're trying to like rotate, we're trying to make sure everyone's okay. If someone's not 100%, play VFL. All right, there's a kid that someone like a Jacob Ryan or like a Noah Howes or whoever it is. All right, let's give you a couple of games and see how you go because we've got, so let's just say hypothetically that Darcy Moore's playing every week from here on out. If Darcy Moore's not 100%, okay, cool, Darcy, go. Well, that's probably a bad example because he's captain and stuff. But regardless, still, if you're not 100%, but you can at least like give something, just go play VFL, and then we can give some guys and give them an opportunity. It only needs to be maybe 2-3 games. But it's just like the fact that like we just as a football club we're just not like we're just not setting ourselves up to like succeed. And when you have selection integrity, when you have a coach that is willing just about, hey guys, I'm not fucking around. So if you're gonna fuck around and find out, And if that is then in play, and then people are then gonna sook, okay, cool. At least we know who's fucking trade bait at the end of the year, and then we can ship you off to whoever. We'll get a 3rd round pick. Okay, cool. You're gonna sook it up, and you're on a bit of cash. Cool. We can go to the free agency market, and we can get someone for you. And yeah, I mean, those players alone, obviously, like Humphries is going to cost a bit through a trade. Walter, I'm not so sure because that's a bit iffy because he's not in the best 23 if there's no injuries. And then Lockie Neal's a free agent, so you would think that definitely happens.
We're getting that. That's great because we're probably not going to get Butters. So Lockie Neal for a year or two or even more.
Yeah.
What would we have to give up to get Jed Walters?
It's so difficult. So I still reckon it's somewhere in the second round. I think it's a mid, maybe early second. And I know people will say, but
that's good.
The only
he's not playing, is he?
Yeah, he's not playing.
Is he now?
In the VFL.
Is he playing? Doesn't he?
He's playing. Brett.
Yeah,
he
so
3 goals on the weekend. He's playing.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, that's the thing. If you're playing the majority of your season in the VFL, that should be alone a 3rd round pick.
He's kicked 6 goals in the last 2 weeks. Actually, I remember that now.
Yeah, he's been playing.
Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, so then that's up to his trade value. Yeah. So, but like. Yeah, and then he's also out of contract as well too. So then that whatever team he's going to go to, that then puts it into the team he's going to his favor. I'm sure because with our 2nd round pick, it'd be if we're going to be around like mid to like late table, because we're probably going to. Hopefully, you would like to hope that we have a push in the second half of the year. So if it's a 2nd round pick, they're not going to even touch that, but if we get a 1st round pick, say somewhere around like 12 to 15, then that's probably enough for Walter. I mean, I would be packaging up Bobby, so I would, because I think Bobby and Walter are probably in the same bracket, and I'd try and find a way to like fit. Oh,
the same value. The same. Bobby Hill's the same value as Walter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
So,
now,
Sean, are you thinking we use the media and the rest of the AFL world's ignorance about Collingwood to get a decent trade for Bobby Hill?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, no, like at the end of the day, like, you know, you sort of need to look at,
We think
and
Voidoid say Bobby has no trade value. I go, yeah, as Collingwood supporters, we think that, but the rest of the world doesn't pay any attention to what's going on. Maybe they don't know how much of a disappointment and how useless he is, and maybe they think he's still worth more than he is.
Yeah, but also as well, and I'm not saying Bobby goes to Gold Coast. I'm saying he goes like Western Australia and probably goes to the Eagles because they're the ones that probably need that. But that's the thing, like the Eagles could be like, hey, we're happy to give you a second round pick. Their second round pick is probably what I don't know, whatever it is, say pick 21, 22, somewhere around there. Yeah. That could then be used for, say, like Walter, and then maybe there's like a few extra like picks in the background and stuff. You can definitely like make it work.
Fuck, that'd be amazing. If we offload Bobby Hill and we get Walter and don't have to use any of our current picks, that would be an amazing result.
I wouldn't say with Bobby he would need to start. I wouldn't agree with that.
He needs
comment.
to play.
Yeah,
he needs to play a few games and show his skill. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely needs to play though, for sure. But yeah, I can sort of see us using that and getting Walter. Certainly not I'm blanking on the dude from St Kilda because that's definitely going to be a first round pick. We're probably going to even need to throw in a second as well. Just because our first round pick's probably going to be around as I said, like pick 15 or something. But yeah, you can sort of package up some picks around Bobby. Because especially if West Coast want him that badly, and I think it's all too from memory. Didn't aren't West Coast notorious for giving away decent picks for like? So I'm trying to think of who they get. Was it like Liam Baker? No, not Liam Baker.
Baker's a good player. He's a captain.
Yeah, but Bobby can play too. Like if he plays I'm not saying back half of the year, but if we can get a good solid 6-8 games out of him, even a couple of finals games, the trade value will go up pretty quickly.
Now, what do we need to do as supporters and the club, who will be reluctant for whatever reason because it's a good idea? How can we get Jeff White into our club to help Darcy Cameron, that new bloke Co, and Illaru Smith, and our midfield setup in general? How can we get that? He's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
How can we get him in as a consultant? Maybe we say to the club, we're gonna, it's outside of the fucking soft cap or whatever. How can we get him in as a consultant just for a couple of months?
Probably maybe we can say to the channel, and if we just go in the comment section, hey, can you go jump up?
I'm serious. Sorry, I have like wacky conspiracy theory ideas, but sometimes they end up being good ideas, right? What if we were to do a GoFundMe to raise money so that Collingwood can't use the excuse that they don't want to pay for it, and we raise consultancy fees for first use Jeff White to get into the club for a couple of months? Who would donate $50? I'd put 200 towards that.
Oh wow.
Imagine you get fucking Jeff White in there. Look, because what Jeff White can help with, he would understand that Darcy Cameron and the new bloke and our midfield in general and Illaru Smith, they've got deficiencies. But he would know he was a dominant ruckman, but he was a smart ruckman. He knew that there were times when he was playing against a dominant midfield where he would win the tap, but really talented opposition mids would be able to still win the clearance. We need that. We need that guy at our club. And I'm going to start a campaign to get Jeff White into Collingwood. Even if it's just a consultant for a month or two. Do you reckon that's a good idea?
Oh, any moments he's in the club is good because any video I've seen of him, I talk about how the ruck setup goes. Don't we have, is it Stafford? Don't we have a ruckman at the club anyway?
Yeah.
Yep. Greg Stafford. He used to play for the Swans.
Yeah.
This is a good comment from Ricky.
Wasn't Dusty? Wasn't Dusty Moore?
Yeah, I agree. Unless Jeff gives his legs to him, it's no use. No, but what Jeff has just got knowledge around midfield craft in general, obviously with rucking included. So he would have knowledge about what does a midfield do when their ruckman is getting dominated. He would have plans and strategies around that. He trains coaches how to do this sort of shit. Sorry, am I talking, Manny? Sorry, I think I'm talking over you because I can't hear you properly.
No. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Yeah,
get closer.
Wasn't Darcy Moore do something? Call his fucking father, Brownlow medalist.
Yeah.
Right? Get him to the fucking club. He'll come there for free. He'll come there for free and teach him how to do some ruck craft. Also, the problem with Darcy Cameron is, I thought about it the other night, when the AFL changed the ruck rules that you have to jump in the middle, what also happened is they started throwing the ball up. Now, if they were still bouncing the ball and the ball's bouncing in different directions, it wouldn't be that bad. But because the jump's gone out of the ruck and the ball's getting thrown up, he's copped it double fucking hard. See, that's what's happened as well. So if they were bouncing the ball now, and the ball's bouncing towards Darcy or over Darcy's head, it won't be that bad. But because they're throwing the ball straight up, he has to jump to hit that ball. See?
Yep.
Guys, what do you think? Just one out of left field. I got a text from one of my Geelong friends the other week. Now, they went hunting and they wanted Rowan Marshall. And they didn't get him. Saints put the fence up, stopped him from going, but he wanted to go there. Now, clearly they rate him, and I think they're going to have another crack at him again in the trade this year as well. I haven't watched him a lot this year, but I watched him a fair bit last year. Now, this is before the new ruck rules. Now, could he be somebody that we could just target? I don't know what he's doing at the moment with the Saints. Is he playing AFL? The guy they got from Carlton, the ruckman, forget his name. Sorry,
but TDK.
TDK, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there was all that hysteria when they got TDK that Rowan Marshall was going to be second string. He was going to play second fiddle to TDK because you can't play them both in the same team. So has he been, as far as the Saints are concerned, is Rowan Marshall, I think from what I'm hearing, Rowan Marshall's a bit peeved and was peeved when they went after TDK and got him, because that's restricting Rowan Marshall, because he's a jumping ruckman. He's a jumping ruckman. He doesn't do a lot around the ground. He does a bit. Should that be somebody that Collingwood, he's 30 years of age, should that be somebody that perhaps Collingwood should consider, an experienced ruckman, 30 years of age, he'll be 31 next season, but, he's a year younger than Darcy Cameron. So what are you, Sean, you're the man. You probably watch every team or most players. Do you rate Rowan Marshall? Is it somebody that is he somebody that we should contemplate getting to the football club as maybe the number one ruckman? If Darcy's not, clearly these other young guys, Harrison, Coe and all of that are still, we've got to wait. They're young, obviously they're going to take time. I mean, do you think he's a possibility? I mean, I'm just looking at who else is available that might want to leave their club. An established player. He's an established player and had 2 years ago with the Saints, he had his best season for the Saints as a ruckman. He was actually in the All-Australian squad as well. So my question is, and I say this is before all of the new ruck rules, and I think it's affected a lot of ruckmen. It's not only affected DC, but it's affected some of the others as well. But just like your opinion, Sean, as to whether you think yes or no, worth considering, because I know the Cats will be after him again trade time. They missed out last year. I think they'll continue because they haven't got a ruckman. They've gone without really an established ruckman for years, yet they keep pushing the prelim finals. They keep occasionally they're making a grand final, made grand final last year. They're doing it without an established ruckman. They're still on target to doing that again this year. So this is all without really a number one ruckman that's really what you call A1. So, yeah, I'll just be interested to see. It's only because I got the text from my Geelong friend and I thought, well, wonder whether Collingwood, all our problems now in ruck, would it be somebody – how tall is he too, Sean? Do you know?
No, I don't. I can look that up, though.
Could you?
So I was a fan of him. I haven't seen him too much this year, so probably not the best of timing with that. But yeah, I mean, I have rated him in terms of like a ruckman and stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't consider him to be a leaper personally. And then for him to, you know, I guess he's around the groundwork has been pretty good. He's been an okay mark. Wouldn't say he's like, you know, a traditional forward, obviously, but he can be that tall timber and he can clock a few marks every now and then. I would be looking at his contract though. I'd be looking at, you know, how much he's getting paid. If he's out of contract, that's even better. But yeah, if you can get him for good value, then yeah, I would definitely be looking at it. But if you're talking, you know, because he was one of St Kilda's highest paid players, I think, or at least he was up there. Just getting the height now. It's 201 centimeters.
201.
Yeah.
So he's got taller than DC.
Yeah. No, DC's taller. DC's 204, I think.
204, is he? Okay, right.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Still can't jump. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. So but I think he's so. From what my mate told me, that TDK is playing 70% ruck for the Saints in their games this year, and they're compelled to play him because they spent all that money getting him over to the Saints from Carlton. So, yeah, and I said, well, and I think this is one reason why, and Rowan Marshall really wanted to nick off. He wanted to go to the Cats, really was keen on that they didn't let that happen though. And I think they kept Rowan Marshall, the Saints kept him for a bit of insurance in case something went wrong with TDK or just things fell to pieces. He hasn't exactly been what you would call value for money yet anyway, TDK. He's not doing much different to what he was doing at Carlton, I don't believe. But, yeah, so I'll just put it out there, that's all. I mean, what I'd be hoping for Collingwood is get out there and search for an established ruckman while you and up until we can get Oscar Steen back again, which is going to be 12 months. And then if things don't work out, Steenie's back in again. Hopefully he's over his knee issues and he's going to be old. He's going to be 24 by that time. And as we all know, guys, ruckmen take a little bit longer to develop and get going with their craft. And then normally, as we've seen with Max Gawn, Max Gawn was just a pretty average sort of ruckman when he was 25, 26. He started becoming a really elite ruckman in his late 20s, 28, 29, and all of that. He started really showing how good he was when he got to that age. So ruckmen generally take a fair bit longer to develop. So, yeah, while Steenie is sort of, and hopefully we can get him back fit and healthy again with recovering from his ACL, just having a guy like Rowan Marshall in there, or anyone for that matter that is an established ruckman that's going to be able to hold the fort, because, at the moment it's just something that it's a glaring issue, isn't it? What's happening in the
You know
middle?
who'll be chasing?
Yeah.
Des, you know who'll be chasing, Des? You know who'll be chasing?
Who?
There's a bloke at the Crows, O'Brien, and he can't get a game.
Riley O'Brien.
Yeah, Riley
He's in
O'Brien.
the same position. He can't jump.
He can't jump either?
No.
Yeah, he's
No, he
playing
can't jump.
He
reserve
could jump higher
football.
than fucking Cameron.
He's playing reserve football. He can't get a game.
That's what I'm saying.
Hmm. And
Maybe what we should have done
taller.
was draft a fucking.
I think he's a bit taller.
Draft a jumper. We should have drafted a jumper in the
I don't know.
draft. Fuck me.
Well, Caleb May. It was an obvious thing, wasn't it? Saw him on the weekend. He just looked far and away better than Harrison Coe in that VFL game. I know it's only one game, but he just had a leap, and he timed his leap nicely, and he just looked like a ruckman that's happy to go with the new rules and comfortable, and it's not phasing him at all. And I think he's going to be good down the track.
All right, boys.
Time will tell.
I'm gonna call it night, boys. Thanks for tonight, Matty.
All right, mate.
And we'll see what happens on the weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Well, team. We wait for the team. That's the big. There'll be some interesting talking points. Let's put it that way, one way or the other.
I agree.
Boys. Have a good night, all right? Good night, boys.
Good night. See you, Manny.
See you, Manny.
Night, fellas. Ciao.
Take it easy. Well done.
See you, boys.
Yeah. Crazy. When do they pick in the team? Do they pick it tomorrow?
Yeah, they pick it tomorrow. They pick it tomorrow.
They'll probably do
They
a
pick it
squad
tomorrow.
Thursday or Friday, and then because it's Monday, they'll do the actual team. I think Saturday night. I think.
Yeah, it'll be a standard team tomorrow, and then I think it'll be Friday or Saturday, and they name the team.
So, Sean, who do we play on in the VFL, and what day is that? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
All right, I'll look it up.
I assume it's one of those two. It's probably, let me guess. Port Melbourne? Would that be?
Yeah.
No, we're actually playing the Demons. Or we're playing Casey.
Casey
Park, on Saturday, 12:05. So 12 o'clock.
All right. Okay, so 2 days before Monday. So, so they're going to have to pick the VFL team. They would need to know that VFL team Thursday and finalise it Friday, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So, so they need to be absolutely sure what they're doing. So anyone that plays, you would have thought, against Casey, those that are in that team probably are in, and those that are held back or will be selected to play that are fit will be in playing Monday. So the VFL team will be named first, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we think Sidey will play?
Get a guide on that.
Do you think Sidey will play? Because I heard rumours he wasn't training.
Yeah, but he'll still play.
Not.
Yeah, I'm
hoping rest from training.
He might get managed.
That's all I want.
Might have had a rest from training though, unless he's crook or whatever. But yeah, I can't. Sidey's not going to play VFL. He'll play either AFL or get managed.
Well, Swoop was talking about maybe Swaddling would play this week. I heard his training video today.
Yeah, but we've been talking about that for a little while, haven't we? From time to time. It's been a talking point, will it be this week? Will he debut and all of that? I think if they're going to announce that, they'll announce it Friday. I would have thought. Yeah, they would have to announce that Friday, seeing that the VFL team would have to be finalised by Friday. So, yeah, we'll find out whether there's an announcement or not. If there's no announcement, he's probably playing VFL again.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be stupid.
Time will tell. Stupid. You're just mentioning the coaching and all the selection integrity there, mate. That's another word for it. Stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, just to interrupt. Are you guys traveling all right? I've just got something to attend to for about 20 minutes. You guys cool to keep going?
Yep. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'll let you hold the reins there, Shawnee.
Yeah.
I'll be in the background.
Keep going. What else can we talk about?
I was just going to say with like Swaddling, one of the reasons that makes me think he might be maybe an extra week, maybe even 2 away, is the fact that when he played in the VFL, he basically played anywhere but the midfield. So he played mostly at half forward, but then he was getting some board half back. So I'm wondering if that's because it's a bit of a role change. I wonder if that's that's the role he'll be playing if he plays AFL. Which would make sense because it's like, if with the midfield opportunities, how scarce they are, because I just won't want to put Swaddling in the middle. I could sort of see him be that sort of half forward, half back sort of type. So the fact that they're playing him in that role in the VFL, he's only done it for 1 week, so I'd imagine he's probably going to get at least 1 more week with it. Because you're not going to throw in a guy with that type of role after just 1 week, unless if you're super desperate, which I don't think Fly would be. I don't think Fly's just going to do it regardless anyway. But if he gets to play that role for at least 2 weeks, which means 1 more game, you're probably looking at maybe a debut in the next like 2 to 3 weeks.
So let's pick the forward line. Let's not just pick the team. Let's just pick the forward line for this week. Let's do it as what we would do, not what Fly will do. We can discuss what Fly might end up doing, but let's pick our forward line. Sean, you go first. What ins would you get? Would you have any ins to the forward line? Just the forward line. Tell us your ins if you're having any ins this week, and tell us the outs if you got anyone that's out or close to being out.
Oh, I would be just doing like a no holds barred thing. I'd be throwing in Buller, West. I just wouldn't be giving a fuck. If you're not performing, stiff shit. Go play better in the VFL and prove me wrong. I'd just be throwing in Buller, West. I'll see if I can get the team up just so I know a rough guide. Where are we looking? Yeah, I wouldn't have Tim Membry. He'll be in the VFL. McStay, you have to play him there because you've got to have some experience. Schultz definitely gets a game. Harrison gets a game. As much as people maybe won't like it, I still think Bo's been okay, even though I do think he needs to lift, but I think he continues to get a game. And then the extra one on the bench. Who is the forward on the bench? Oh, it'd probably be Long, wouldn't it? He can get dropped.
For sure.
Yeah,
we're calling him a forward, aren't we, after last week? So, as a forward, if you're going to bring Buller back in, somebody's got to go. So you're saying bring Buller in. What about? Are you saying that? So West was an emergency last week, assuming he's good to go and ready to go. Do you think? Now, this is just what would you be happy to bring him in again this week, this Monday for the Monday game, or do you think missing a game means his continuity? He's missed a week. That's important. Go back to the VFL.
I mean, if it's just me having control and it's my call alone. As much as I would look at it and go, West may not have the match conditioning for it, but I would literally just, for a lack of a better term, I'd just put my nuts on the table and just be like, don't care, West is playing, and he's playing for the rest of the season. Because that's exactly what we need to do as a football club. We need to stand on business. We need to just be like, hey, this is the best thing for the football club. I couldn't care less if he kicks 0 goals for the next 6 weeks. You need to give this kid games. And at the end of the day, you need to look at it in stocks. You need to put all of your cash in the stocks of Charlie West. Buller the same as well, and you can also get a second ruck sort of like opportunity with Buller. Because with Long, if you're dropping someone like Long, then that's you've then got that covered. And then worst case scenario, you got McStay there. But no, you need West, McStay, and Buller in that as your three tolls. And but I think everyone else I'm pretty happy with because Harrison needs some continuity. Yeah,
Harrison half forward.
I would play him half forward just purely off the back of I would like him to be a midfielder. But because he's coming off that ACL and he is building, the fact that he's building, I'm happy just but hey, let's just give him because he's actually a pretty good forward, so he's not that bad. So I would just go, hey, let's just let him tread water as a forward for a few weeks and see how he goes. But the intent and the end game would be let's get him either on the wing or in the midfield because that speed that he has and the footy IQ that he possesses, especially when we sort of need an extra midfielder in there that has that bit of pace to go with Nick. He can potentially be that guy because in his draft year he was basically a outside midfielder. So he can definitely do it. And now that I don't know how old he is now. I think he's like 23, maybe 24, somewhere around there. Someone can obviously let me know, but specifically how old he is. But yeah, he's definitely old enough to have the body to be as at least like that outside mid. Because he did when he played his games where he was best on ground for 2 weeks in a row. That was him being an outside mid too. So. So I would definitely keep him, but as a half forward, just to hold him back a little bit, but still getting his games under the belt. And then, as I said, for that bench spot, Long was on it, so I'd probably drop him. And I mean, the list is kind of doing me dirty at the moment. Oh, no, sorry, there's like a Tim Membry. So, I'll drop Tim Membry and bring in West, and I'll drop Long and bring in Buller.
Okay, so you're saying Memory's out of your team out of the forward line, and you're saying Long is out as he was played last week out of the team, and you're bringing in Charlie West and you're bringing in Jack Buller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically as the two ins. So Shooter would play that other half forward, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you'd probably, and it wouldn't make sense dropping. Wouldn't make sense dropping Harvey Harrison after waiting that long and then coming back.
Yeah.
And playing last week. I mean, naturally, what more did people expect anyway? I didn't expect anything really big from him anyway. I mean, it would have been great. It would have been a great talking point. Great for him, but. I mean, we needed to lower our expectations. First game back in nearly 2 years. So I think he gets better, but it wouldn't surprise me if he gets dropped because that's the sort of way we've operated with some of these guys, that's for sure. Chris, do you agree with Sean or you have a few differing opinions with that forward line?
No, I agree with Sean. I don't think Membry should play, and I don't think Long should play. But I also would make a third change. I would drop Sidey for Swaddling, and I would have. I don't like Membry, and I don't like Long. I think Bull and West should play, but I don't think Sidey should play, and I think Swaddling should come in too. So I'd make 3 changes this week.
Okay, so you're going. You're agreeing with Sean with West and Buller in the forward line, but you're saying let's go a bit further with that and say, okay, well, Sidey's out. He's not going to get dropped. He might get managed like we were saying earlier. And who was the other guy? So you're bringing in Swaddling for either Sidey. Who was the other guy that you were dropping? You said you're dropping Memory and Long, but who was the other one?
I said Long, Memory, and Sidey for Swaddling, Buller, and West.
All right, so you got Sidey out and bringing in the kid, Swaddling. So I mean, okay, if they wanted to manage Sidey, they could bring in Swaddling. That could be a possibility. I'm not sure it'll happen though. So okay, I pretty much agree with both of you there. I'm a bit quick. I don't know about Charlie West because he was an emergency last week. Obviously, he would have been ready to go if something had happened. I think he might have been there for maybe Memory had he done something like twinged his hammy or something like that in the warm-up or something like that. He probably might have been a bit nervous about that, but he got through that and played, and in the end he kicked some goals. I don't know whether or not they will actually see fit to drop Memory, having kicked goals last week, though. I know it was at Marvel Stadium, but time will tell there. But I would have Buller in for sure. And I would have Long out. So he'd be out and Buller would be in. I've made my comment about Ned Long. He's not a goal-kicking forward, so I don't have any reason why he needs to be in the team. Yeah. And you're just finding a spot for a guy that's just not adequate at the moment. So, yeah, bring in a guy that can grab a ball, tackle hard, contest, bring in a forward. That's what he is, Jack Buller, and he can do a bit of rucking in the forward line as well. Perhaps take a bit of heat off McStay, who's not really a ruckman anyway. I all cringe a bit with Dan McStay because he's done 2 ACLs already himself. I don't want to see, as much as I tend to have a crack at him, I don't want to see him do another ACL because he's rucking or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, so I sort of agree with these guys there. I just have a question mark on Charlie West as to whether they put him back in the VFL because he missed a game last week. Time will tell. What about all right, let's look at the defence.
Yeah. I will just add one thing though. The only other thing I would question with one of my changes is that I would actually, because not to drop him because he's not been playing well, even though he's been very average, but even just if it's such a big thing to drop Sidebottom, I would throw him in the forward pocket and I would actually put Bo in the VFL, but I would actually put him in the midfield. So at least you bolster you can bolster your AFL stocks, especially in the midfield as well. And then you can just be, all right, here you go, Bo. You've got the keys to the midfield. And then you can just essentially play that, inside, outside. Just be our Jordan De Goey of the VFL. See how you go for 5-6 weeks. And just sort of see if anything can spark from that. Because, I sort of feel like you're killing 2 birds with the one stone there. And then if you get side in the forward pocket, you're not really losing anything. And I think in terms of the forward craft that Sidebottom has, you're still keeping, I guess, a playing group happy because Sidebottom gets a game every week. But then at least you're sort of making the most of what potentially could be happening, because if the players are going to potentially boycott or they're not going to play well because their mate side is in the VFL or whatever, that's when you can sort of throw him in the forward pocket and okay, at least we know you can do some damage there, because his forward craft is actually very, very good and extremely underrated in my opinion. We just don't use him there enough. And then worst case scenario, if you have someone go down from the midfield, well then Sidey can obviously do a bit of a chop out if we need him to, but that's worst case scenario. So, and then you give Bo a bit of a 6-week development course in the VFL to play midfield. So that would be the only change I'd be thinking of.
Sorry, you're saying Bo stays in the AFL team and plays 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks in the midfield, or you're saying VFL for 5 or 6 weeks? I didn't quite.
No, so with Bo, if I was to make another change to it, I'd say for Bo to play VFL and play in that midfield for 6 weeks, but then you throw side bottom in the forward pockets, because if there's going to be uproar about side bottom playing VFL, which unfortunately that could be a possibility. So then it's like, okay, cool, let's kill two birds with one stone and let's throw Sidey forward. But yeah, no, I would, you know, I don't know if he wants to do his half forward thing as like an extra, sure, okay, that could be something. But I'd be telling him to be a crumbing forward in the forward pocket, because if you look at sort of the team that you sort of got there, Harrison could kind of do it to a certain extent. I think he's a bit underrated when it comes to forward craft. Schultz, I don't know if I rate Schultz's forward craft like in terms of crumbing packs and stuff. If it bounces up for him, he gets it in his hands, he's all good. I just don't know if I really rate his like groundwork though. I don't know if people disagree with that or agree with it, but I sort of don't necessarily rate Schultz's like sort of groundwork. You know, but we know he's good with his like work ethic and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, pressure.
Yeah.
Okay. Just with Bo, I'll just say this. He just looks like a guy that's sort of like checked out. So everyone's sort of mentioning the Tassie thing and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, when that story broke about, you know, Tassie going after him and all that sort of stuff, he's just formed to tape right off, past month in particular. Not that he was going that well beforehand. But anyway, time will tell as to what happens there. But he certainly has dropped off, that's for sure. Even more alarmingly since Anzac Day. But anyway, okay, we're into the defence. So here we go. So we know there was a little bit of talk a couple of days ago that maybe Howie might get managed this week. So I haven't heard anything since, which would be interesting whether they do that. I think they might do it after. Well, we've got a bye coming up, haven't we? So they may continue to roll the dice with him. Okay, so any changes to the defence?
I mean, I'd be putting Josh Dacos on the wing. That'd be the first one I'd do.
Was he playing? Where was Parker playing? I'm trying to remember. Was he half back or what? Was Parker
he's basically
doing?
Defender. He's a defender.
Okay, so are you happy? Do you think he gets another? Well, okay, this is your team. So what would you do with Will Parker? And if you're replacing Will Parker, so you're also taking Josh, putting him on the wing, and then Will Parker, and I assume Dan Houston remains at half back. So what are we doing there? I mean, question mark obviously on Pez as to whether he plays or not. Maybe one that could go back there. But yeah, so you could be looking at maybe changing a couple of guys back there. What would you do, Sean? If you're going to whack off Nick? Sorry, Josh is going to wing and Will Parker, if he maybe gets, he's probably the guy that's in the gun at the moment, I suppose. Could be in the gun. Yeah, but your team anyway, what would you do?
So reluctantly, I'll probably have Houston half back. I'm trying to think who would be the other flank. Because you'd rather, I'll probably put Howe. I don't know, they're kind of interchangeable, really. Because you got Quainer, Howe, and Maynard. Because obviously Frampton goes full back. That's, but then I don't know. I feel like we're really small and not defense. But then House is also
Noah House was injured last week, so I don't know how long whether he's going to be. That's going to be another week. Question mark, because he didn't play at all last week. Would have been great if he played, but he was injured. I'll pose this question to you because we talked about it earlier. Would it be a possibility that that we bring in Swaddling, play him half back, do a bit of what Nick used to do? A bit of an attacking half backer. Give him the freedom. Not only play tight on your half forward, but let them worry about you a little bit. You know, do what Nick used to do a few years back, and which got him started. Be that sort of player who can run freely forward and maybe kick a goal or two, maybe be that live wire from half back, or you reckon maybe?
Well, so in terms of like the defense, like either Daz,
Daz?
Oh, I think he's gone. I'm just like, yeah, I'm trying to get like a list up so that I can have some form of a idea of like what we're doing. Yeah. Oh, so is that confirmed now that he's actually done his shoulder? So that's why he didn't play VFL. All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, hopefully he's not too far away from like returning. Yeah, it's actually kind of hard because like once you sort of like look through the names and everything, you sort of there's always a player or two you're always like forgetting. But yeah, obviously Howe has to play, Frampton has to play, Maynard has to play, Q has to play. Already got Josh Dacos on the wing, so I can't have him there, so that frees up a spot for potentially like a I don't know, do we have like Chris for halfback? I feel like that's probably a bit like we can probably do a bit better there. Yeah, God, it's actually pretty difficult to even like get a team up like that. I need to like do like a whole like best 23 list. Oh yeah, geez, I actually forgot about Poncho. Yeah, Poncho would actually be probably. I don't know. Would I play him off the bat? I mean, ideally, you'd probably want him to have at least another week in the VFL just to understand the system. But yeah, like if this was next week, I'd probably be playing him. Because yeah, from what I was seeing in the VFL, the fact that he was like attacking every contest, he really surprised me on the weekend actually. Chris, do you have any questions at all?
Well, if I was choosing a team, I'd bring in Perryman, and sadly, I would drop Parker for Perryman, and I would put Josh in the midfield. I'd put Perryman back there and put Josh in midfield. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, Parker seems like the easy one to drop and stuff because he's really not like moving the needle. Even just like looking at the bench, like I'm happy with how Ron Steele's going. I'm happy with Ed Allen.
Yeah, me too.
And then you basically got Parker, Lipinski, and Long. The three that I'm sort of like those are the three that I can probably have the conversation about in terms of like who is potential, like who could like is there upgrades in the VFL that could come in to replace them.
Well, I've heard a rumor. I don't know if you agree with it. People are saying, "What about TJ?"
Nah, I'm not really a fan of it, to be honest. Like, it's also just the decisions that he makes.
I agree, but that's what a lot of people are saying. They've been saying, "What about?" I agree with you, but a lot of people have been saying TJ. I'm not a fan of him either.
Yeah, so Void, I think when it comes to pods, because I think as much as the forward line's probably not the greatest, it's probably like to me, I can't seem to, because again, I'm pretty bullish on the three key forwards I mentioned. in Buller, McStay, and West. Because I think once you get in Buller, it'll take a bit of pressure off McStay, and then when you get West in there too, West is obviously going to come in as that third tall, but hopefully that also can relieve a little bit of stress from McStay as well, that he doesn't have to do the forward line all by himself. And, you sort of leave it up to them to sort of, if they want to keep their spot or not. And then depending on, how they go, if they're 100% or not, that's when you can sort of go, all right, well, because I think for me, Pods is like the next one on the list. Because to me, I don't even have Tim Embry in the conversation in terms of like even playing. So unless he goes to the VFL and he's kicking bags of like 4, 5, 6 goals every week, he's not even in the conversation. Because at the end of the day, I don't know how old he is, I'm assuming he's like 32. If you're 32 years old and you can't consistently kick 2, 3 goals a game at the very least, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like what I was saying last week, that he's basically like a Jack Dunstan. But that's the thing. So out of the because you're not going to drop McStay though, so are we going to that basic? Because and then you would need the second ruck, so you would effectively have to drop West for someone like Pods. I just don't know if I'd be willing to do that. But Pods would be very stiff though, and then because Pods has only been in the team for a week, you could even like say that he needs to learn the system a bit more. And I think that can be valid in this scenario where sometimes I can use it as an excuse, but the fact that he's only been here for one game, you can that's you can at least look at that and go, well, that's actually a genuine reason.
What about Puncher? Could you consider Puncher?
Yeah, well, he's in the same bracket. I feel like he like probably another week away, but like if this was next week, I'd be trying to find a spot for him for sure.
And then you've also got, then you've got Jacob. You've also got Jacob Ryan. Could you consider Jacob Ryan too?
Oh, why did you have to bring up that conversation?
Because we're thinking of players that we would put in our side.
Yeah,
this is our team.
Yeah, I think because that's the thing. Once you put Puncher in, it's like there's no movement, because when it comes to Ryan, that's when you need injuries. That's when you need. Well, it's not you never need injuries. Let me reframe that. But like for someone like Ryan to play, you need someone like Howe to be injured, or probably not Howe. That's probably a bad example because Howe plays taller than what he is. But you need a Houston. You need even not that I would have Josh Dacos off half back, but Josh Dacos would probably need to be injured. Like if all those guys are healthy and fit and firing, then it's hard to see him get a game.
Well, I've got a question, Sean. Daz just brought up a good point. If they manage Howe, who would you bring in for Howe if they manage him?
Well, then Punch is definitely coming in then if they're going to manage Howe.
Well, that's what Daz was saying. They were thinking about it.
Yeah. No, he looked good. Like I know his impact wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
But like in terms of what he did, and for a first game, first game in the system, like he did a lot. Not obviously in terms of like the stat sheet and stuff, but in terms of just being an overall presence, like you can just see that the more time he gets into our system, the better it's just going to be over time. No, I'm very keen on Puncher. Because I think Pods is probably like the safe bet in terms of, if we're talking about success, Pods would be like the safe bet. But God, you just want to put back in Puncher, because he could be something pretty special. And then you've also got Coe, but I think Coe's probably in the middle of the two, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He might have. Yeah, he's probably not exactly a safe bet because it still feels like he's a bit of a Darcy Cameron clone, but we really need a leaper. Like,
were you shocked they didn't take Caleb May?
Probably. I didn't really put much thought into it, to be honest. Like, obviously I had my options, but I was also open to the idea of like Aubrey was going to pick it, like, was going to know someone that we, yeah. Well, that's the thing, Void. Like, Pods is that type of player where he's just like a plug in and play, but until he gets his opportunity, it's too hard to. It's he is that type where it's like it's hard to get him in, but then once he's in, it'd be hard to drop him because he would just be performing week in and week out because he would be that type. Especially where I feel like he would be like a benefit. Like if he's like our third tall, hypothetically, if you were to drop say like a Charlie West, and Pods would come in and he plays as a third tall, so you've got Buller and McStay doing the majority of the grunt work, and you're getting the third defender. That's when you could probably get some like a Pods to keep 5 or 6 goals.
Did you hear Fly's press conference saying that Charlie West was managed last week?
Was he? Okay.
That's what I think he said. He was managed.
Yeah. Just shows you how well we're going, aren't we?
Yeah. For sure.
No, that's the thing. So I like Co. I think he's more. I think he's more potential than in the ready-made category. So that's the thing. So Pods is like the complete safe bet. We need a forward. We need him impacting now. And Punter is the damn. If this guy comes good, like this could pay off extremely well. Co's like in that middle sort of tier. I feel like it's not that he's got a ton of potential to be like a really really good player, but he's certainly more of a safe bet than we think. I think.
Well, the only problem is he can't jump. That's the only problem.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, jumping in a rucking contest at the centre bounce, that's only one part of your game. Like, you look at DC, like, it I don't know if it exactly annoys me, but, like, it is a bit of a talking point where, yes, DC needs to jump and it would improve that aspect of his game a lot. But he still does a lot outside of that, and I think we tend to look at players and we seem to look at their faults, and then we seem to poke at their faults a little bit too much, and then we sort of fall down the rabbit hole of maybe this guy just isn't that good. DC is a good player. Let's just
he's a good player, but if you saw the Bulldogs game, that they were jumping all over him at the start of the game. They were jumping, at the start of the game in the ruck, and that's what a lot of us were saying. That why we wanted a guy that could jump.
I know, but that doesn't necessarily make him like a bad player or anything like that.
He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player, but we just want a guy that can jump too. That's what we were saying.
Yeah, but there are rucks out there. I mean, even Void even mentions it too with Gawn, how Gawn is an elite and Gawn's probably one of the best ruckmen in the comp.
Yeah.
It's Yeah. It's just something that we just got to have an eye on and just sort of see sort of how Cameron goes. And if Harrison Co comes in and he can impact, then. But I personally, I felt like it was a bit of a move. It was a bit of a move because in case if Darcy Cameron goes down, rather than hey, let's get someone to pair with Darcy. So that's where I sort of I don't agree with that philosophy because we should have got a Steen replacement rather than a Darcy Cameron replacement. But
that's
in
what
saying that,
people were saying.
yeah, but in saying that, if Darcy Cameron goes down, and then we've got Harrison Coe, well, would you rather a Darcy Cameron type, or would you rather a Steen type at that point?
Steen type every day of the week. Like like I saw the VFL game, and you and Mick were doing. You could see Caleb May is better than Coe. He killed him in the VFL. That's why you want to Steen type.
In the ruck, absolutely, I agree. He killed him in the ruck, but he didn't kill him around the ground. And that's what the club's banking on, is the fact that we don't value hit outs in the centre bounce, but we value what Coe and Cameron does around the ground. So
but we don't. But that's one thing I do. That's the one thing I do disagree with. What? Think about it.
Yes, no. So with that, it's fine for you to disagree with it, but that's the path they went on. So it's one thing to, because that's the thing. A lot of the times we can sit here and go, "Oh, but what's the plan?" "Oh, where's the direction of blah blah?" That's the direction, So that's what they wanted. So that's the thing. We can sit here and go, "Hey, that wasn't the best move," or that needs critiquing. But yeah, at the end of the day, we need to.
I get what you're saying.
So yeah, and that's the thing. That's why they went there. But that's the thing. If Cameron, obviously, that they don't have much faith in Cameron in terms of his ability to last out the whole season. Why they think that, I have no idea. But they're obviously very scared of Cameron going down, and they obviously think that a Cameron type for their structure is super important. So, obviously, for whatever reason, if they got scared or whatever, from a security point of view, they wanted more of a Cameron type for security purposes and for their system. We can disagree with it all we want, but that's what they wanted, and that's what they felt like at the time.
But what are you thinking about Monday, Sean? Do you give us a chance or not?
Honestly, I think we're losing, and I think we're losing bad.
So do I. I'm actually thinking that too.
I know. With Matty, you wasn't happy with what I said, but I genuinely think if we were, I can see this easily being 40 plus.
So can I. Melbourne are playing that great. I agree with you.
Yeah. Especially if we go in with and when I say no changes, but basically no changes in terms of if the change is Perryman in and Parker out, we're losing by 40. We are losing by 40 plus. But
I agree.
But if we throw the magnets around and we drop a few guys, drop Long, drop Sidey, drop Bo and all these guys, all the people we've been speaking about. You throw your Swaddlings, get your Bullers in.
The West.
Your West and all these guys. Then, I think. Really at that point, I wouldn't even mind if we lose at that point, because at least we're giving it a go. At least
I agree.
At least we're throwing caution to the wind, but at least, at least we're giving it a crack, I guess.
Well, my question is, do you believe Fly will do that?
Fly's not gonna take a ping at the stumps.
I like when Matt says that.
Yeah. No, Fly's one of the biggest safe bet merchants of all time. He's gonna keep Sidey. He's gonna keep Long and Lipitsky and all these guys. It's just on the club to do something about it. But that's the thing. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, swims like a duck, guess what? It's probably a duck.
Who are you playing on Cozzy Pickett? And if you were the coach, who would you play on Cozzy Pickett?
Oh, my first thought would have been Quainer.
But he plays in the middle part.
Actually, Matt, I did see that video What was it? Yes. Oh, sorry, earlier today. And yeah, when I heard that quote, that was actually like pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially like even but that's with every position though. Like I mean, there's even teams out there that like even if they go after like a key forward, like how about we get a key forward that can kick goals rather than just being someone that's tall. You know, obviously it can help being tall and all that stuff, but yeah, it even shows someone like a Logan Morris who's like 191 centimeters. You know, you don't have to be 200 centimeters to take a contested mark.
I know a lot of us are saying it, but I wish we chose Logan Morris or Dimitir. I know Dimitir hasn't been, hasn't played a game, but you see what Morris is playing. It looked like maybe we should have gone Logan Morris.
Yeah. I'm not fully ready to commit to the idea that Pez is playing. That's why, I didn't mention his name. But yeah, if Pez gets selected, then yeah, obviously he goes to Cozzy because he's probably our best tagger. Especially on the smalls.
I like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I actually said this in Andreas' stream. Like, whenever I hear fitness test now, my mind automatically goes to the thought of, okay, what excuse can we, or what what's the word? What sort of philosophy can we put on this to make this a good thing that we're going to be playing this guy? You know, because if you're doing a fitness test, I get fitness tests obviously exist. I get they're a thing. I understand all of that. And it probably just shows you how much trauma I've been under from this season. But if I'm hearing fitness tests with how well our season's going, I'm like, oh, damn, you're playing injured. Fuck. You know, or you're playing a guy that's not going to be 100%, whether if you're 95, 98, 99%, 100%. That's where I sort of go, yeah, I don't trust the club to actually make the call and wait for him to be 100%. I know players, you know, I guess we are getting to the time of year where not everyone's going to be 100%, and I get that. But it's just, again, it's the trauma, man. It's the trauma that I have with Fly, and just the fact that it's, I'm a gambler. I take shots at the stumps, and the shots at the stumps are, you know, odds where it's like 3,000 to 1, and then he's shocked that it doesn't pay out. Well, no shit, it was 3,000 to 1 for a reason. You know,
would you play Pyramid? Yes or no?
I don't have much information on the whole situation, so I would always opt in to say no. But
he's come back in hamstring.
Well, as I said, I'm more conservative when it comes to those things. Like if you're questioning whether if he's fit to play this week, don't play him. Play him next week.
I agree. Keep Parker. There's Matt saying pin the stumps with Lipinski. There it
is. Yeah. Well, we know Lipinski's going to be playing.
No, for sure.
I mean, how he has more job security than Penderbury at the moment is beyond me.
Well, it's simple. We've got two players that should not be playing this week, Long and Sidey. If they both play, then that's ridiculous. We both saw Sidey and Long were not that great last week. They both should not be playing.
Yeah. I just saw his season stats, and he's actually averaging 19 disposals a game.
Yeah.
Is that something we should be tolerating for a guy that's played 150 games?
No. No, why?
So I feel like it should be over 20.
For sure.
He should be averaging like 22, 23.
Any midfielder playing should be over 20 possessions. And if it's not 20, it's ridiculous. You should not be playing.
I mean, like, you can have the odd night where you're under 20 and stuff, especially if it's like from a big win or whatever. But I mean, Void, I know you comment in the streams and stuff, and you know you have really, really good takes and all that stuff. But at the same time, like I'm speaking from a trauma perspective, like, and just the fact that like I've seen too much just to be like whatever the dumb decision is, that's the decision Fly's going to make.
Well, we already know. Perfect example. How many times he's played Darcy Moore injured? Perfect example.
Yeah, well, he's averaging 19 at the moment for it, so yeah. I mean, he has had some games where he has got like 23, 24.
Yeah.
But then he'll also have games where he'll get like 16 as well. So I guess when you look at the averages, it looks to be a bit better than what you think it is, but
yeah.
Yeah. But then there are also times when, you know, he'll need to put his head over it and he doesn't.
Sure.
Although
Sure.
I will give him credit. I feel like his intent to tackle has improved like the last few weeks. I feel like his tackles have probably gone up. I'd be curious to know how he's done with that. Yeah, he actually had 4 tackles.
4 tackles.
I feel like 4 tackles is actually pretty good, especially for a guy that's playing on a wing who's essentially a outside mid that doesn't want to attack a contest, because that's really what wingers are. If you're getting 4 tackles, that's actually a pretty solid return. What about West Coast? What's he doing in the tackles? Had 2 tackles. Okay. Probably a bit of a down one, that one. But I mean, yeah, if he's getting 4 tackles a game, that's actually pretty good. I'd be if he averages 4 tackles for the season, I'd be pretty happy. Yeah, absolutely agree with that, Void. All right. It's the Sydney game. He played all right the Sydney game, didn't he? So this might be.
Who are we talking about?
Lipinski. Wait, no. Where is he?
I don't think he played that great that game.
I tell you what, who surprised me, and I don't know if he surprises anyone else, and because he's always been a bit of a runner and a bit of an outside mid, but Jack Crisp seems to get a lot of tackles.
I'm surprised with that.
He had 8 tackles. Yeah, he had 8 tackles against Sydney.
Because he's not that quick. And that's why I'm surprised.
I think he's lost some pace, I think, too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, if Lipinski, or even Chris, with what I just said before, the fact he's lost a bit of pace, yeah, if he wants to prove me wrong and show that he can turn on the Jets, I'm all for it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Sean. I was going to ask you that. Would you manage Cripps soon?
He's probably going to be one where you entertain the conversation at some point, but probably not. I mean, there's too many others that are probably in the same category.
Yeah.
I can't find Lipinski. I can't find Lipinski in this one. Lipinski definitely played the Sydney game, surely. Why am I not seeing it?
Well, he was out for one game with concussion, but I don't know what game that was.
Oh, that might have been. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's probably the Sydney one then.
Yeah, there was. I think it was that one.
Okay, that makes a bit of sense. Because I was about to say I can't see him. All right, there we go. Got 2 tackles against Geelong.
2.
Ned Long had 9 tackles against Hawthorn. There you go.
Yeah, and we don't see that often from him.
There you go. Lipinski had 3 tackles.
Got to 3.
Yeah, but in fairness to Lipinski, though, like he is an outside sort of like player, so he shouldn't really be leading the tackles anyway. But the fact that he
he shouldn't be leading him, but he should be getting some tackles. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
getting some.
Yeah, but if he's getting 2 or 3, that's we can be happy.
I can deal with 2. I can deal with 3, but not maybe 2 or 1.
There you go. He had 3 against Essendon, so he's getting 2 or 3, and he had that one game where he had 4, so he's doing all right. Yeah, exactly. Void. Yeah, the fact that with the Lipinski, because that's the thing. Like you need to sort of know what their role is, and the fact that they are on the outside. Like you can't have outside players be your best players that put their head over the ball. Obviously there'll be times when you sort of need to go, and that's when you need to go, you need to go. But in terms of it being like, it shouldn't be their main strength if you're playing on the outside. Because again, it's a team game. Like everyone's going to have their strengths and weaknesses, and it's a matter of prioritizing your strengths, but then also having your teammates sort of help you out with weaknesses and giving you chop outs. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, with Long, he needs to go back to being a inside mid. But
Sean, I've got a question for you.
Yeah,
Would you do the same thing we did with Bontempelli? Would you put Allen and Anderson both on Cozzy Pickett like we did with Bont? Would you try that?
How much time does Cozzy get in it? Because I know he's been doing it recently. How he's been
He's mostly doing it like he's mostly in the middle, mostly.
Oh, okay, there you go.
He's mostly in the middle for Melbourne. I mostly watch their games. He's mostly in there.
I mean, you could do like a with role if you had to do it, but I mean, I would just I'd just throw Perryman on him.
Once if Perryman doesn't play, would you play Allen Anderson on him?
Well, on Cozzy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if Pez plays, I just put him on Cozzy. But that's the thing, though, Void. I feel like we do have those outside players in the VFL. Like Swaddling could easily come in, but then again, Sidey would be the first one out. You would think.
Yeah.
So there is I feel like there are a couple guys that would get dropped before him.
Where do we think Longy will play this way, forward or in the midfield, if he doesn't get dropped?
We're just going to do the same thing every week. Like, the roles don't change overnight, so.
It changed in the third quarter. He put him in the midfield, finally.
Yeah, well, hopefully he stays there. Yeah, I mean, I would entertain the idea of having Allen as a tagger, actually, just purely off the back of he's such an athlete.
Yeah.
And the fact he did such a good job. I mean, Anderson did a good job on Bont as well. But I think Anderson, because we don't really have much in terms of inside mids, you sort of need Anderson to do his thing. Do Melbourne have a like a midfielder that we need to worry about? Because I'm just trying to think, because all I can think of is like Petrarca and Oliver, and they're not there anymore.
They've got Windsor. They've got Cozzy. I'm trying to think who else they've got. They could put, they've got Cozzy's cousin in there. He plays in there too.
Because you got Harvey Langford. He's come good now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he plays in there too.
Yeah.
Oh, and they got Jack Steele. Yeah,
but is Jack Steele gonna kill it though.
He has been for Melbourne. I've been watching him.
Yeah, fair.
And Gorn worries me because we know I think he's going to kill DC.
Mm. Yeah, but Gorn kills everybody though. That's not really a surprise.
Mm.
Yeah, you got Caleb Windsor, you got Langford, Harris Sharp, Ed Langdon, Jack Steele, and Kay Chandler.
Yeah, they're good players. I know them all.
Well, that's the other thing with Melbourne. Their defensive setup's always like pretty good. Like I'm looking at Turner, Folstrop, Petty, Sparrow, Howes, Bowie. They're not like on paper they don't really look that great, but Melbourne's like defensive system's always like really good.
What would you say about Melbourne's forward line? Is that good?
They haven't really had much in terms of like their key forward setup. I know Mychek's obviously gone there now. And and then like the Matt Jefferson, I liked him in his draft. God, when was his draft? It was like 4 years ago. It was the first round pick from memory. It was like 14 or something.
And they've got Bailey Fridge. He's good too.
Yeah, they've got Fridge as well.
And like I said, they've got Cosby Pickett's cousin in the forward line too.
Yeah, and the GWS came in the team lineup. They've got both Pickett's on the half forward flanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to it, Sean?
I haven't gotten a ticket yet. That might change. It's always annoying when you use Ticket Tech though, because they always say that allocation exhausted when you know damn well there's a ticket that they just don't want to let it be known that there's tickets available. So frustrating, but what can you do?
Did you ever try to make a medal for Neil Danaher?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that actually.
So would I.
Turn it into like an Anzac Day medal type of thing. Absolutely, why not?
It's going to be like sad when they do, like the slide. They might do a minute silence. That'll be sad.
Yeah, this one's going to be really. I'm keen to see what the environment is for this one, or just the atmosphere in terms of like, because obviously now that he's like passed away and stuff, this one's going to be different for just off that alone. And
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting if his daughter goes.
Because you would imagine, because you would imagine emotions would be super high, and
for sure,
it's gonna make the game like so much more special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go, but just need to wait for them to have some tickets available.
Well, the interesting part is, will Neil Danaher's daughter go?
I guess so. She's been there the last couple of years, hasn't she? So,
but she was there with him. This year was there with him. She might. Who knows if would she really want to go without a dad there?
Oh, she'd probably want to be there just because it's, especially the fact that this is the year he's like passed.
Yeah.
At least like to pay tribute to her dad and stuff, like for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not going to do the story any justice, but my dad did. He did play a game of cricket one weekend, and I want to say where he played, and I can't remember where it was exactly. But where he played, there was like an oval next to him, and apparently, for what was happening on the other oval, I can't remember exactly where, but basically, I think it might have been like a footy preseason training session or something for a certain team or whatever. Apparently, Neil Danaher was doing his preseason footy training on an oval next to the cricket ground he was playing cricket on during like the summer and stuff. And apparently he came over in like the change rooms and everything, and they were like drinking together and stuff. I'll see if Oh yeah, there you go. Well, yeah. Well, she's running the charity, then obviously she'll be there then. Yeah, I'll see if I can get an opportunity to get him to, even if I just get him to come on to one of like Matt streams or even mixed streams. Oh, there you go. Apparently Matt reckons the daughter is going. But yeah, I'll see, because he's definitely got some stories for sure. And he played against Dean Jones. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to mention a few stories and stuff. So I'll sort of see how it goes.
That's a good story. That's a good story, Sean. That's a good story for Sean about your dad.
Yeah, well, he played sub-district cricket for 25 years, so he's got some stories.
Yeah. No, that's a good story that he met, Neil Dano. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Well, at least the ones I know of. Yeah, there was a Neil Danaher one he told me a couple of years ago, and then the Dean Jones. He's got a really good Dean Jones one. I'm going blank, but yeah, and then being a sub-district cricketer, you always see like former cricketers, even former footballers around and stuff. Because yeah, I'm sure if I get him on, I'm sure he'll be able to entertain you guys for a bit with some of the stories.
Cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, Chris, do you have any questions?
Yeah. How do you think the game will go? Do you think we can win, or do you think Melbourne will win too easily?
I've already said this. Yeah, I personally think I'm expecting 40 plus.
Let me say this. Once if we do what we did in the third and the fourth quarter, we go for the corridor, would you give us a chance then?
We would obviously play better, and I would at least, then at that point, regardless of the result, at least I can live with the fact that we're actually giving it a try. It's so strange though, because Melbourne, as well as they're going, they are all, at the end of the day, they're just kids, but they're kids having a crack. That's really what it is at the end of the day.
Did you see Fly's press conference when he was saying that he's telling them to go from the midfield and they're not listening?
Oh yeah, about how if he wants them to go through the corridor and he doesn't know why.
And he's telling them that he, to release the shackles.
Yeah, if only the coach has any power to make changes like that. If only, obviously he just has no power to make any changes inside a football club when you're the coach. Yeah, it's just it's a mystery how
All right, where would you play Nick Dacos? Would you play him in the forward? Would you play him forward line at all against Melbourne?
Yeah, I mean, I would give. I would throw Nick Dacos forward, not obviously as a main role, obviously, but
No,
yeah,
of
for
course.
breaks and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. Why not? Especially if you can, because if you get those three tools down there, and then you get Dacos, put him in a pocket. If he gets the best the best small defender, I'm sure he would be able to make something work.
Would you rotate him with him and Geordie? Like try Geordie and then rotate him with Nick?
Well, both of them are main midfielders, so it'd be.
Mm.
Oh, who would it be? I know I said this before, and I'm probably a bit early in saying it, but I want to see Harrison in the midfield.
Yeah, I would like that.
I'd like to see Nick Dacos say go forward, and then you can throw someone like a Harrison in the middle.
I would like Josh in there too.
Yeah, but Josh has to be a complete outside player, though, for that to happen.
You think Parker will get dropped?
I'm just reading Roy's comment at the moment. So, wasn't there a team that did that a couple of... Oh, was it Essendon? Didn't Essendon do that a couple of years ago where they had like a really good start and people were like, oh, God, like, you know, Essendon's now
they did.
coming good.
Yeah, they did.
God, was that 2 years ago?
I think it was.
It was about 2 years ago, and they had this like insane run.
Yeah,
like the first half, and they just completely combusted, and then like they barely want to get
like
into the second half.
Like always.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Melbourne do that, but
yeah,
because they are a young side. You can't like when you have a young side, it's really hard to sort of compete every single week, especially when you're playing a competition as good as this, or the like elite level.
Well, they are the surprise team of this year, being in the finals so far.
Yeah. Give me a one-on-one interview with Fly to ask questions. Ask. We'll raise cash for MMD if he agrees. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll certainly watch that. But that's the thing. If you're going to interview Fly, I'm sure he would be wanting to know what questions you're going to ask him, though. Because there's definitely going to be some questions he won't answer for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you could ask him one question. Why do you keep dropping the kids nearly every week? Why do you keep dropping West? Why do you keep dropping Hayes? Why don't you play, why did you play Cocker in round one?
Yeah. It's have you got any more questions, Chris?
Do you think Parker will get dropped?
I would expect it, yeah. Especially if Perriman's got to come in, someone's got to go out. Parker seems the obvious choice.
Yeah, we hope Sidey will get dropped, but I don't know if that will happen.
What's that, sorry, Chris?
I hope Sidey gets dropped, but I don't know if that will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, Sidey definitely needs to. Oh, sorry, what's that? So, questions he won't answer, he has to pay. Yeah, has to pay double the pledge to me out of his own pocket. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Make a pitch to Fly that we need Jordan Butts. I'm assuming that's two teams chasing him. Yeah, we just at the very least we need a backup for Frampton. If Frampton goes down, who's that monster that sort of come in and fill up the role?
For sure.
Obviously, you probably wouldn't say that to Butts because you got to sort of sell them a bit of a dream. But yeah, if you're trying to convince Fly, like you need depth. Like Frampton, as amazing as he's been, he's only one person.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, him and Karmas. I know they're not the same player and stuff, but if yeah, but even with like Karmas and stuff, for someone that can be a bit of a Jeremy Howe sort of type, you probably don't want him to be that second tall, but that's when you can sort of be a bit fancy and sort of you can get someone like Puncher to be the second tall, and then if you get someone like a Karmas to be the third tall to sort of intercept and do his thing, if he gets like freed up, I feel like he can be pretty good off playing off his man and playing as that third, and plays kind of that loose-ish sort of Howe type of role. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Sean. Who do you think will get in the trade period?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure we'll get somebody. It's just a matter of who we get. So only time will tell with that. But yeah, I mean, I like a Darcy Wilson. That just seems like an obvious choice. Walter seems pretty good.
Lockie Neal.
Yeah, I feel like Lockie Neal just feels like it's already locked in. I feel like that just I'd be keen to know if there's any connections that Lockie Neal has with like the players and stuff, because that'll probably tell you where he's probably going.
How many years would you give Lockie Neal, Shawnee, if you were coach?
Well, it depends on, because obviously, like depending on the contract you give him, will probably determine if he like comes or goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd give him 2 years. I'd give him. If 2 years is the sticking point, then you go 2.
Yeah.
Because ideally you'd want obviously you would want like a 1 year with a trigger, but I feel like he's proven enough to where he probably warrants a second year.
Yeah, for sure. These type of things, you don't stuff around. You don't stuff around him. If you want Lockie Neal, you give him whatever he wants. If you want him that badly.
God, I really hope TJ can like come good, because I keep saying I feel like TJ is so talented. He's got so much ability, but it's all in his head.
And then he makes too many mistakes.
Yeah. Although I feel like the last 2 weeks of VFL, he hasn't taken that rush kick. He still has his turnovers here and there, but I feel like they're getting less and less. So he is improving. So I'm slowly watching TJ, getting better and better. But yeah, and that's probably like the other thing too, because TJ's probably he's not out of contract this year. Next year's his contract year. Maybe that's when he sort of like. Yeah, I don't even think he's necessarily playing bad. He's just going through. Especially at the moment. Bad. Yeah, he definitely started. He definitely I definitely think he had a bit of a not so great start, but his last few weeks have been all right, but not great though.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. He's not playing that bad, but he does make some mistakes. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah. But it's all in his head. If he's got a calm mind and he has a bit of maturity and can slow the game down a bit. Yeah, he's also deceptively quick as well. Like, Void even mentioned with like the dash. He's one of those guys. He doesn't when he gets the sprint when he gets the sprint on. He doesn't like the legs like go, but like he doesn't look like he's fast. But then you give him if you give him like 2 or 3 steps and he's off. Yeah, I don't know if Murphy looked bad, and I think a lot of it had to do with Bucks. I just don't think Bucks really. I really just have this thing where I just don't think Bucks really rated him that much, and I think it affected his confidence a lot. And then it really wasn't until Fly came in, when Fly was like basically playing him every week. He got games in 21, I think. Well, I guess Bucks only coached like the first half of that, but yeah, I could say that. Yeah, TJ would be pretty good as a winger, actually. Yeah, I don't know. It's a wait and see, and we'll see if he sort of. I don't know. Sometimes you might have a player where when they're out of contract, like they seem to get a bit desperate, and when they're desperate, that's when they sort of start to play their best football. And hopefully, if he keeps some of that talent or keeps some of that, inspiration in their football, it can make them like a better footballer. Hopefully, yeah. All right, Chris. I think we might finish up the stream.
That's what I was going to say. It's 3:00.
Yeah. So, just would like to thank everyone for tuning in. We've got 11 viewers at the moment, so just would like to thank everybody for. If you got to look in briefly, at the end of 18. Yeah, but like. Yeah, I mean that was probably his opportunity, but I don't know. I just never felt like Bucks really rated him that much. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to have our opinions and stuff, and we're going to call it how we see it. But yeah, I'm hoping TJ can get some games, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see next season for him, because I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play a game tonight. This season. But yeah, we're gonna end the stream there. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and stuff. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe for future content, and we're gonna leave the stream. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video or stream. All right, see you guys. Go Pies.
Go Pies.